learn how we organize our competitions. So they were with us. So there are sometimes they also come and learn from us. We also get something to learn from them. So that is how we are working with. But the coaching, we really need to do something about our domestic coaching.
Just finally, what's the update on Team Ghana in Texas? We know that they are prepping for the World Champs in Tokyo. What's the update there? How are they faring? How are preps coming along? And what's the status of Benjamin Azamati? Will he be joining? So first of all, question one, how is the team doing in Texas and what have they been up to?
The team they're doing well in Texas, and most of them, especially Fuseini and Azamati, they have the individual races to run during the World Championship. So we give them opportunity that anytime at all they have a competition outside the camp, we give them that liberty to go and compete and come back. But the training is going on well with all the 4 coaches in there. Fuseini coaches there, Rashid coaches there, Azamati coaches there, and Fuseini Bokwam, Mustafa Bokwam coaches also there. So this is the best technical team we've ever formed to have this athlete. We didn't take any coach from outside their training camp. We asked them to choose where they want to camp. We provide all the facility, and we brought their personal coaches to be with them. We don't want to bring any coach from somewhere to come and coach them. These are your personal coaches. And they talk to each other. So far, so good in camp. I've not received any complaint from them, and I've not received any other issues that we've not provided for. Their per diem and their other entitlements has been approved by the ministry, so it's in the process of going through for the release of the money before the championship. So the minister has made commitment that he supports this team, and so far he has fulfilled his commitments. So far as I'm concerned, as of today, we don't have any issue with their training. The training is going on well, and we pray that we don't get injury, because that's something that can happen at any time at all. We don't get injury, and we're also working to prevent what happened in Budapest. Remember, in Budapest, we went with 5 athletes and 2 got injured in 200 meters.
Yes.
That knocked off the 4x100. This time around, we're going with 6. If unlikely event 2 get injured, we should have the 4 to compete.
Okay.
So we are working to also prevent what happened in Budapest. You know, Budapest will pay for the tickets of those athletes. Yeah, the World Athletics bought the ticket for them.
Okay.
The team couldn't run. The team couldn't run.
Mm-hmm.
We have to refund the tickets, accommodation, and accreditation to World Athletics.
Okay.
Regardless of what happened, whether they got injured
or not, you still had to refund.
We still have to refund, so we have to prevent that occurring this time around.
Okay. Just finally, you did say that Azamati and Fuseini were running individual events. Which events are they competing in? Just for people's information.
They have qualified in the 100 meters by performance. So
okay.
They will run individual 100 meters in Tokyo during the World Championship. And because they have qualified in the 100 meters, they are automatic members of the 4x100.
Okay.
Yeah, so we need to add 2 more athletes to them to make complete the set. But also need to add 2 reserves, making 6 athletes. Even though the World Athletics will pay for the 4, and Ghana will also pay for the 2, we feel that it's not necessary that we find money to pay for this extra 2. Whether they will run or they won't run, that is another matter. We have to get them there for them to be readiness in case anything happens. In case nothing happens, we thank God, we bear the cost. But in case something happens, we have a backup so that we don't end up by paying 4 athletes instead of paying for 2.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So we prefer that we will pay for the 2 athletes to go and prevent us from paying for 4 if something happens. So that's why we have planned. That's why they are in camp. All of them are in camp. Where they don't even know who is going to run the 4, but all of them are capable of running the 4 legs.
All right, Bawa, thank you. Thank you so much for that info, and thank you for speaking with us. We will be, we'll catch up. I'm sure when there are updates from the team camp from Texas, we'll find out what's happening as they get ready for the World Champs.
Thank you very much, my brother. I do appreciate it. I always love your interviews. Thank you very much.
All right. That was Bawa Fuseini, President of Athletics Ghana. giving us some updates. So Team Ghana is in Texas. They are getting ready for the World Champs. There are 6 or 7 athletes there. And as Bawa Fuseini said, all of it is just to ensure that in case there are injuries or issues, they are still backup athletes who can fill in. Simeone and Azamati, as you heard, they will be running in individual events in the World Champs as well. So we wish them the very best. World Champs happening between the 13th and 21st of September 2025 in Japan. We'll keep an eye on that and give you all the updates. A minute after 8, we'll be talking a bit about the chant. But Ekow Asmah is joining us. Ekow, good morning. How are you doing?
Great, by the grace of Jesus.
Wonderful.
I do well, pa.
Wonderful. Yeah. Just quick thoughts on the athletics. I was interviewing Bawa Fuseini. I don't know if you have any comments to make before I interview my Kenyan colleague. Then we can do some boxing. That's why you're here. We want to talk boxing.
Okay.
So I want to get all the side issues out of the way.
Thank you very much. First of all, shout out to Bawa Fuseini for his tireless effort and sacrifices for our athletes. The track and field problems in Ghana have always been the same, from government to government. So it's official state neglect. It's refreshing to hear Bawa say that the sports ministry is really giving its due in terms of, at the very minimum, what to give the athletes preparing for the World Championship. So that's commendable. Shout outs to Sports Minister Kofi Adams for that and all that. But we need to stress that the state has got to do much more. Identify the top 3 sports in the country. Boxing is number 1, right? Right?
Okay, boxing is number 1. Okay,
you put there.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, it's number 1. 10 world champions.
Well, on that score,
Football,
yes.
not even 1.
Well, you can argue that world champions at the lower levels.
No, but I'm talking senior level, not lower. Why don't lower the level, the standard.
True, you're right. 10 world champs.
10 world champions
at senior level.
And even Olympic Games, we've always been at the forefront of global, raising the flag for Ghana in distant lands, wherever. So the state's got to identify the top 3 sports and commit to that. And then the others, we can use other ways to finance it. But as for the top 3, there's no excuse for the state not to be responsible, I would say. So boxing, track and field, and then you come to football. So it's refreshing that at least those guys in Texas are ready. At least they've been given their due, they're getting ready, they have full focus and all that. But the state's got to do more, much more. If you compare what Bawa Fuseini was saying, compare the Nigerian, input, the investment.
Yeah.
If you don't invest, you can't yield any dividends.
Of course.
That's the bottom line. No investment, no dividends. So the problems of track and field, boxing, football is the exception. It's the darling. But track and field and boxing have been suffering like orphans because of official state neglect. So it's always going to be the same problem. No investment, no dividend. So once we invest, we get a dividend. So we have to continually keep, we in the media, we have to keep pushing state to invest more in track and field and boxing. Otherwise, we'll get the same results. Whoever may be at the helm, and Bawa has been doing a lot. But it's not enough. His efforts have to be compensated by official state investment and even in partnership with other individuals. But at least it's the responsibility of the state. First and foremost, those top 3, we don't even want to hear about public-private partnership. The state's got to invest heavily in them, and then we'll reap the dividends. That's how come we reap the dividends in the past, from Kwame Nkrumah's time all the way to now. It's always been the state investing heavily, and then we'll reap all the results in track and field. And don't forget, hockey went to the World Cup first, before any of our disciplines. Hockey used to be big too. So we have to go back to the school sports, and he was talking about, oversight for the young girls. It's a big problem. It's a big problem.
Taking their eye off the ball.
Yes. We have to fix that. And I'm glad that the Ministry of Education is liaising with the sports ministry in getting back to, because we need to get that collaboration. Once we fix the ministry and sports and education, the fusion in doing the sports, that's an area that we have to look to. But you see, I know the government is new. First year, there are a lot of problems here and there. But we anticipate that by next year, we'll be doing much better. But we have to start keeping them mindful of what we expect of them. Wonderful. Otherwise, of course, they can take their eyes off them. So it's our responsibility, sports media, to keep bringing the issues to the doorsteps of the helmsmen. Yes.
8:05. As I said, we'll be doing some boxing. Let me hop on the jet and let me take a quick detour to Kenya to talk about the CHAN, because finally the 8 teams set to take part in the quarters, those 8 teams are set. Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Sudan, Morocco, Madagascar, Algeria, and Senegal. These 8 teams are contesting the quarterfinals of the African Nations Championship happening in Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. Now, joining me from Kenya is our colleague at Sporty FM in Kenya, David Kinyanjui, popularly called Nyash the Jabroni Slayer. That's his nickname, because you're looking at me. That's the dude's nickname. Maybe we need to find out why he's called that. I'm sorry. David, good morning. Many thanks for joining us. How are you doing, and how is Nairobi?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. Nairobi is a bit cold. Not gonna lie, it's a bit cold. It's not warm.
I see. Anyway, just how has the CHAN been? Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda co-hosting. How has it been, especially from a Kenyan perspective? How has the competition been for the fans, and your overall assessment of what you've seen so far?
I mean, it's been a fantastic outing. We have enjoyed going to watch our team playing live in a continental tournament. We have never done that before. So many generations have never gotten to enjoy anything of that sort, me being one of them. So having such continental tournaments being played here, it's been fantastic, really. And watching our boys compete with some of the best in other local leagues, just to show like how much our local league has grown and assess ourselves with other teams has been honestly good. I mean, there has been a few cases of us getting a little overexcited and sneaking into the stadium, but we're still learning up. We're still catching up with these kind of things, but it's been looking great. And also watching how our footballers have been playing, winning games, being the group of death, topping it up, being awarded millions, becoming millionaires in less than a month. It's been surreal, to be honest. It's been really fantastic.
Great. Let's talk about the performance of the Harambee Stars. They got out of their group under the guidance of Benny McCarthy. They conceded one goal in 4. Just run us through, for those who may not be following the competition, how have the Kenyans played and how have they managed to make it out of the group and into the quarterfinals?
I mean, there has been several factors to this, in my opinion. One of them is the coach. He has been a big influence, and the chopping and changing that he did, especially when he played against a team like Morocco. We played our first game against DR Congo, 2-time CHAN champions. We're thinking that's a tough one, right? Mm-hmm. And then we went ahead and won and kept a clean sheet. Then we played against Angola. We drew. Then we played against, and we were down to 10 men against Angola. Then we played against Morocco, and there was a lot of changes done to that Moroccan game in terms of our Harambee Stars. There was a whole lot of changes by the coach. So we were wondering, like, what is going on here? If this one does not end up well, it's going to really look really bad on the coach's side. But we went, we won, kept a clean sheet well at it. It's fantastic. And of course, the players have also been very well motivated by, the financial rewards they're getting, because those have been very good, not gonna lie. And also having the crowd behind them. People have been getting to stadiums and supporting them, basically the 12th man. They have played a very key role in pushing the boys and getting them feel motivated and feeling at home. You get it. So it's been a lot of factors. And also, I think one of the standout things for me is we have been absolutely resolute defensively. Like you mentioned, we have only conceded one single goal. So we have been very solid defensively, and I think that's our anchor in how we have been in the group stages. And I hope we're going to latch on that or clutch on that once we get to the knockout rounds, which are kicking off on Friday.
All right.
Friday.
Okay. Your thoughts on the 2 other host countries? All 3 made it through. Tanzania, 3 wins and a draw, and Uganda probably playing in one of the most dramatic games with South Africa a few days ago. Your thoughts on those 2 countries, Tanzania and Uganda, and how they've also made it into the last 8?
I mean, well, Tanzania, there have been a few people who have been talking smack, talking smack about Kenya. So we are exchanging words, and if they want us to go down that direction, we can actually do it. But yeah, they've done their job as well in terms of playing their games and winning them. They topped the group, the first team to qualify for the quarterfinals, and they have been playing well as well. So they've been solid as well. Uganda has been a bit dramatic, unlike what we expected, clutching onto a draw in the last game against South Africa. But that's all they needed anyway to go to the next level. And I think for the three teams, not just those ones of top your group, or if you don't top your group, just make sure you get to the knockout rounds, you get to the quarterfinals, or be the second team. Because it will be very embarrassing if the tournament is being held in your own backyard and you're not even in the knockout rounds. That would have been really embarrassing. So I think every team has been buoyed, but of course having home fans there with them. So it's been good for all the teams, man. And unfortunately, we'll not be able to meet either of them until maybe get to the finals. Because honestly, as Kenya, we were praying that we get Tanzania. Tanzania have been saying a lot of bad things about Kenya. We were praying, but now the way the route is set, I think we can only meet them in the finals. But Tanzania and Uganda, they can meet. If they beat their opponents in the quarters, they can meet in the semis. So it's going to be one to watch out for.
Finally, David, so you did say the quarterfinals. So the quarterfinals set, Kenya versus Madagascar, Tanzania versus Morocco. That's on Friday. On Saturday, Sudan versus Algeria, and Uganda v Senegal. Tell me, how far can this Kenyan team go? They navigated a brilliant group stage run, conceding only once. They were unbeaten effectively in the group stage. Now they are at the business end, and it's one shot, one kill. If you don't win, you go home. How far can this Kenyan team go in this competition?
I honestly think we can go all the way. I don't see why. I think the biggest hurdle for us could be the semi-final, because we are not playing at home. We shall be playing away. So that could be the only hurdle. But if in any game that we are playing at home, I believe we can win it. So if we get, I think we'll get past Madagascar. I know it's a tricky opponent, but I think we can do it. We can get past them, and then we go to the semis, and then we get to the final. I think we can go all the way. I don't see why we cannot go all the way. I think Kenya can go all the way and win it. And then, of course, the boys can get the millions that they have been promised.
And then, who do you think will win the other quarters? There's the Tanzania-Morocco one, which is also on Friday, Sudan, Algeria, and Uganda versus Senegal.
Ooh. Sudan, Algeria. Sudan have been kind of different. I did not expect them to top their group. I think I kind of placed Senegal on a high pedestal because they were the defending champions, and I'm thinking they're gonna cruise through. But Sudan topped that group, and now we have Sudan versus Algeria. That's a tough one, not gonna lie. I want to big up my East Africans, Eastern Africans. I think Sudan is in Eastern Africa, so I'll big up Sudan. I hope they win that one. And then Tanzania versus Morocco. Look, I want to meet Tanzania somewhere down the line. I don't think they'll make it. I don't think they're good enough to get past Morocco. So Morocco wins that one. Then Uganda versus Senegal. I think just because Uganda are playing at home, and Senegal for me have not been that promising in terms of maybe what I expected from the defending champions. But I understand it's a whole new squad because I think they've only retained one player from the previous team that won in 2022. I will say Uganda versus Morocco in the semis.
Okay, Uganda versus Morocco in the semis. I see. And then should Kenya go through, then they take on the winner of the Sudan-Algeria tie?
Yes, and I would go with Sudan. I think I want Sudan. I don't think I want Algeria.
I see. Just finally, David, before I let you go, you said that you were talking about the fact that people are excited that there's a competition in Kenya. Do you think after this, the Kenyan authorities would want to attempt hosting another one? Would they want to pitch for another competition in the near future, looking at how well this has gone so far?
Yeah, fantastic question. Now, we are hosting AFCON in 2027.
Yeah.
But I think for me, I feel like that one is cast in stone, that we are hosting it again. But I think for me, what I want to see is the build up to 2027. Can you keep this momentum going? Because there's like 2 seasons of football between now and 2027. So I know the fans are very excited. They are going to watch football, even locally, even before this tournament. People are starting to embrace the Kenyan Football League, and they are attending matches a bit more than usual. So can we now build up on this CHAN tournament and have people attending more matches and just keep up that excitement about our local league as much as we're excited about the English Premier League and all that stuff? So I think for me, it's just about that. Keep the people excited, keep the people going, have a product that people can go want to watch, because people do love football. It's just that they don't have a very nice product to go watch.
Okay.
So if they do have a nice product they can go watch, then why not? Keep up the momentum going, and then 2027, we host the AFCON 2027, which is even bigger and better. So, yeah, after that, then we can wait and see what else we can do as a country.
Let's see what happens. We wish the Harambee Stars the very best as they play the quarters of the CHAN on Friday. David, thank you so much for speaking with us. I'm sure we'll speak again really soon.
Thank you.
All right. Wonderful. Have a good day too. That was David Kinyanjui. He's with Sporty FM in Nairobi, Kenya. 816. You can send your comments 054-257-1061, 054-257-1061. As I said, we'll be talking some boxing. Ekow Asmah is here. We've also been joined by Jojo Efsin. Jojo Efsin is PRO of the Ghana Amateur Boxing, or the Ghana Boxing Federation, the amateur bit. Jojo, good morning. How are you doing?
Yeah, good morning, Nathan.
Everything cool?
Better.
I see. We'll get into the boxing in a bit. So I just wanted to let listeners know that you guys are here. We are taking care of one or two side stories.
I just wanted to ask, do the listeners know who Ekow Asmah is? They don't know Ekow Asmah.
They don't know who Ekow Asmah is. Well, we've spoken to a number of times.
Yeah,
they don't know
Ekow Asmah has not been introduced any designation.
Okay, no problem. So Ekow Asmah is a sports journalist. He's a boxing writer. Boxing is his beat. He loves boxing. and he's the author. Ekow, what's the title of the book? It seems to have missed me.
The other one?
The one on Ghana's World Champions.
Volume 3 of the Celebration of our World Champions. That was 6 years ago. The next one is due. Already 6 years ago.
Wow.
Imagine. 6?
Yeah,
you were there. I remember that.
I was there.
Yeah,
I still have a copy somewhere in my things.
2019.
I see. So when is the next volume coming out?
We're supposed to have launched it this month, but developed some arms and legs. There are other people involved whose timelines got to be respected. Okay. So I'm kind of waiting on them, even including our own brother, Fifi Banson. So that's why I'm waiting. So in the process, I've written another one.
Okay.
So I'm always writing.
You're always writing. I know you're always writing.
So it's been pushed back because originally it was going to be launched this month.
Okay.
But because other people involved have not, whose timelines have not been properly secured, and other inputs that we are waiting on, so it's been pushed back a little bit. We need some more push by our brother Fifi Banson, and then we'll get
he has his hands in different pies.
Yeah, but this is boxing, number one sport.
The number one sport in Ghana. That's true.
So we got to get him on board, and then it will happen sometime this year. It should happen. It should happen. Yeah. Okay, it's long overdue.
Wonderful. Yes. Jojo too is a journalist, even though these days he's more in the boxing arena. Jojo, how is it like on the amateur side? We'll be diverting a bit to talk to our colleague Alex Ashmore in Spain, but I just wanted to just bring them in so listeners know that they are in studio with me. Jojo, so I mean, initial thoughts on what you've been up to?
Well, Nathan, and talking about designation, yes, I mean the communication officer.
Okay.
I don't know specifically what the PRO does, but in terms of communication, you do more than communication and other administrative.
Yes.
So I'm the communication officer for the Ghana Boxing Federation.
Okay.
Which includes branding.
Which includes branding.
Because, the story of the amateur have not really been, shared well.
Yeah, that's true.
And when I joined the advocacy and behind the scene role, engaging the likes of Senior Ekow, other media guys, who have helped to revive, what the amateur base have to be. So it is. And it's great meeting you too.
Yes.
Remember, like some 20 years back.
You and I go.
Right from this.
You and I go way back. Yes.
This
radios.
This radios.
That's
so
true.
I think I have some picture maybe later to
send it to me. Send it to me. Remind me of myself 20 years ago. 20 years ago,
your formative years in broadcasting.
Yeah, 20 years ago, here I was, wide-eyed 18-year-old boy, cutting my teeth at the now defunct Channel R, learning the rudiments.
So then let's start with. I mean, one time I heard you asking of Flashy Bole Saka, who was your school pantry.
Yes. Flash used to work in the school pantry at Accra Academy. So,
my big brothers were also Accra products, and that was early 80s. So you have all been there. But
I see.
Unfortunately, Ebola has passed on.
Oh, may he so rest.
And Ebola was part of Ghana's team to 1984 Los Angeles Olympics Games.
Okay.
He contested in the middleweight division. Won the
Ebola was a middleweight.
Yes.
Interesting.
It's a big deal.
He contested.
Ebola didn't look like him. Ebola was lanky and tall. Tall.
The height.
Yeah.
So,
well,
you know,
I figured he was probably light heavy.
No.
I thought I assumed he was probably a light heavy or some. Well, when I think about it, it kind of makes sense when I reflect on it. Middleweight. Yeah.
So Ebola actually was with how do you call him? If you had the boxer, we call him how do you call it? Ebodankwa. You know, who also got almost close to the world champion. That was their era. Nanaya Konedu.
Okay, so this was
the amateur. Yes,
mid 80s.
Yes, so that was his team. That and then among others, I think when we refresh, we can make this thing.
Okay.
And my experience in it, and even the last time I was with Simeone Ekow Asmah when we went to Mamprobi, then I wanted to take into how I knew Azuma Nelson at the age of 7 years.
That's right.
And I saw Floyd Kuti Robertson, where he was staying. He wrote a book about Floyd Kuti Robertson.
Yes.
Yep.
And wrote about his manager, Big Boy Atai.
Yep.
And the house is staying at Mamprobi, Rainbow Christmas in Egypt. That particular house.
Yep.
And I think my sister are going to marry from that house.
Oh, I see.
So I frequent there and I pick boxing lessons practically.
That's right.
From that house, Christmas in Egypt, at a place called Mamprobi.
Yep.
You know, just before Plaza or Tezaku. Yeah, so I think that's make what some of us boxing, the very sports we started with. Though football is something that
by your first interaction with
my first
was boxing.
Was boxing.
Okay.
Though we have the Indafa Park, which produce a lot of stars. People mention Stephen Appiah as the Blasters captain, but all the successful Blaster captains have come from Mamprobi.
Okay.
You talk of Ado Damitin. You talk of Awolekwe. Right? They are all from that Mamprobi base. Way before Stephen Appiah even came in. Charles Akoya Lote. Then there was another Patrick Lote. These were all. So in fact, for the records, Mamprobi is the sports factory of Ghana. Not only football, not only boxing. I mean hockey and everything.
I remember some time back, some colleagues and I were having a casual chat about which part of Accra has produced, let's say the most, that day was a discussion on which part of Accra had produced the most footballers. In certain neighborhoods, some people were mentioning Tema and some people were mentioning Mamprobi, and the people from Medina were making a strong case for the number of footballers that have come from those neighborhoods. So it's a very interesting point Jojo makes about Mamprobi and its relationship with Ghanaian sports, not only football, but from a boxing perspective.
And administrators too. You know your boss, Gary, is also a Mamprobi born.
Yeah, Gary.
Oh,
also from Mamprobi.
From Mamprobi.
I see.
I mean, I can go with the list.
Yeah, but even with the same Mamprobi, it's still boxing.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I'm saying.
Remember Abodwe?
Abodwe is where Abodwe, there's a place. I mean, that's one story.
Yeah, the Hawk.
Yes,
I used to live thereabouts, so I know. And you know, if we were talking about Mamprobi, then you have to talk about boxing. Say boxing. Don't say football.
Don't say football.
Say boxing first.
Okay, boxing.
And then football second.
Okay, so guys, let's just pause on that. We'll come back to talk boxing. 8:24. This is the Sporty Breakfast. Let me go on the line and speak with Alex Ashmore, joining us from Madrid, Spain. He's with Sporty TV, sister TV station. Alex, how are you doing? Good morning, buenos dias. How is Madrid?
Good morning, guys. Good long time no speak. It's been a busy summer. Madrid is slowly cooling down, which is nice. It's no longer 40 degrees every day.
That's true. We haven't spoken in a while. It's nice to see you. La Liga started over the weekend. They broke up the match days into several days, and then it concluded with Real Madrid winning by a goal to nil last night. Let's start off from there. What did you make of the performance? I watched large chunks of the game, and I could tell that there were still a few chemistry problems and that it would take a while for the machine to warm up and get into full gear. But I don't know what you made of the performance from Real Madrid last night.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think I don't want to say holes because I think they're very early in this development stage. We talk about how Xabi Alonso only had the time he had at the Club World Cup, and then the short break, and then the very short pre-season, and they obviously were looking to get this Osasuna game postponed to have that little bit of extra time off. And Danny Carvajal even said himself yesterday, we're going to treat this first couple of games like a pre-season up until the September international break. So I think when you look at the performance last night from Real Madrid, if we're being honest, it was very flat. There wasn't a lot going forward against an Osasuna side who came to defend, and you can't blame them. I think they set up with a back five. They had a goal in mind, is to stop Real Madrid, but I don't think Real Madrid threatened them that much. You look at the front three last night, Brahim, Vini and Mbappe. Other than, I think it's worth crediting the hard work from Mbappe. I thought he was running about well and pressuring the defenders. I didn't see a lot from Brahim. I didn't see anything from Vini. The midfield I thought was flat. Arda Güler I was expecting a lot more from. And I think the build-up play was slow. It was way too slow. And when you allow a team to sit with a bank of five and a bank of four, and you're just passing it around, looking at them and waiting for that gap, there's no pace, there's no urgency. I thought, and I think my colleague Clinton Codd put it right. If this Real Madrid side from last night faces Barcelona, the same thing is going to happen.
Wow, that's very early on, and the warning signs are already coming up. Talking about Barcelona, they won their game 3-0, albeit some people believe in controversial circumstances. What's been the conversation like around Barcelona after that opening day win? Are people already tipping them as favorites, or is just one match out of 38? We can't get overexcited now.
I think you said it there. It is, unfortunately, the topic of the conversation is not the win, it's the refereeing controversy. It's the red card from the yellow card to Rafinha that should have been a red card, and then the double booking. I think when you look at a performance like that from Barcelona, I think without the red cards, I think they still would have won comfortably. But it is all about those refereeing mistakes, and we were talking about it on the show earlier this week, that when you have a league that is La Liga, one of the top leagues in world football, and you're having refereeing mistakes consistently, it wasn't just this week, it was last season, all throughout the season, both against Real Madrid, both against Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, and every team gets punished unnecessarily because the refereeing quality is not up to standard. The Premier League as well, we've seen criticism of the refereeing mistakes in the Premier League last season. It becomes the topic of conversation. Sepp Blatter, when VAR was introduced, saying people like discussing these mistakes in the bars after the games. No, they don't. They like discussing who was the better team, not feeling that they've been hard done by because a referee hasn't done his job properly.
Wow. Just staying on with that, on this topic of officiating, has anything been said by La Liga or anybody in charge of refereeing concerning some of these errors and mistakes that have been made?
No. I think we're a long way off an official statement of anything of that sort, but it surely must come to a point when you realise if you're one of the top leagues in the world, you can't have officiating at this level. It is beyond me how consistently we see it's not, oh, there was one in match week 1 and then one in match week 24. It's almost every week. If you look at the games across the board, there will be at least one glaring mistake from a referee. And it just begs the question, why isn't there something being done about it? Why isn't there an independent review? Why isn't there a process to improve this? Because you look at the other leagues around the world, it's not as regular as La Liga that we see these mistakes. Yes, the Premier League, it has its faults and its downfalls, but I think we're seeing more and more mistakes from referees in La Liga, and it is unacceptable.
In terms of the matches, let's wrap it up with. I think the shocker of the round that happened at the Mateo Busquets Ferrer, that you had Espanyol beating Atletico Madrid 2-1. Very interesting result. Atletico took the lead. I thought they were going to win the game as of the time I tuned in. And then you had Espanyol doing the unthinkable, winning by 2-1. What went wrong for Atletico Madrid on the day?
Diego Simeone? Am I being harsh? It's the same, it's different season, same story. Atletico Madrid, they always have the high hopes coming into the season. They've got to compete with Real Madrid and Barcelona, but then it gets to about March or April and they start falling off. But I think there are positives, not to be completely down and all, about it. I think the new signings showed a lot of promise. I think once they start to gel together, we should start to see more, I think, from Atletico Madrid. But, I mean, what a way to start the season in typical Atletico Madrid fashion, going off the end of last season, losing to Espanyol, with all due respect to Espanyol, a team that were close to getting relegated last season. And if you're a team like Atletico Madrid, who have title aspirations, who have aspirations of trying to compete on all fronts, whether that's Champions League, Copa del Rey and La Liga, you can't be losing to teams like Espanyol. And I think they have to have a long, hard look at themselves in the mirror and think, what do we have to change? Because you're hearing stories about them wanting to sell Alexander Sorloth, and he was, 17, 18 goals of 14 starting appearances last season. If you're not, yes, I know that starting him isn't going to solve every single one of your problems, but there is a problem. You're not looking at it in the mirror. The defence is clearly not good enough. I think the midfield is flat. And then you're looking to sell one of your best players from last season. It seems balmy to me.
Yeah, very bizarre. You did say Diego Simeone. Some people do think he has overstayed his welcome at the club. Do you share that opinion? Do you think he will be there for a while, or you think that this may be last chance saloon for him in terms of getting Atletico to win some of the bigger prizes?
I think if he doesn't win a major trophy this season, similar to Arteta, he has to go. I think if you're Atletico Madrid, I was saying this the other day, I think it reminds me of when Arsene Wenger came to his time at the end of his career at Arsenal. They were getting fourth every year, but it felt like there was things went stagnant. And when you look at how Diego Simeone's done, I just think he's the highest paid coach in the world. The money that they've spent on transfers, I think you have to be doing a lot better. And I know it's difficult. You've got to compete with Barcelona and Real Madrid, who have a much higher quality. But I just think when you look at the job he's done and the way they play football as well, you don't go into an Atleti game thinking, I'm going to be entertained tonight. You go in there thinking, we're going to watch 90 minutes of Simeone ball, which isn't exactly entertaining. So, yeah, I think if they don't win a major trophy this season, I think he's got to go. And I don't want to be the throwing out wild comments, but I wouldn't be surprised if he goes before the end of the season.
Okay, we'll see how it goes. Finally, Alex, for us in Ghana, we are very interested in Thomas Partey and his new move to Villarreal. Just generally, what has it been like ever since he did sign the dotted line for Villarreal? He's playing for them and all. What's the conversation around him be like? And what has it been like? And what expectations do people have of him? They saw him play for Atletico, went to Arsenal, he's back in La Liga. Just generally, what do people make of all of this? The decision by Partey to come back to Spain and sign for Villarreal?
I think it's a delicate situation, obviously, with what's going on in the UK at the moment, the charges against him. And I think when you look at the two countries, it doesn't feel like there's enough light shone on what's been going on in England. And I think in Spain, it seems to go under the carpet. We saw it with Mason Greenwood. If you ask Getafe fans what Mason Greenwood did, a lot of them would say, I don't know. And I think with Thomas Partey, there's no denying that he's a good player. And I think he's shown at Arsenal that he can play to the top level. And Villarreal have done well to get a player like that. But it could all change in a matter of weeks when the Crown Court comes to the decision of the charges against him, that it could the whole signing could be unnecessary or could be pointless because he might not be able to play. So I think it's a difficult one in Spain. I don't think obviously Villarreal have released a statement saying that there's the whole judicial process to go through and the innocent until proven guilty. But I think in Spain, on the whole, I would say that Villarreal fans are very happy that they've got a player in Thomas Partey who we know, off the field stuff apart, is a very good player.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Alex, thank you so much for speaking with us. La Liga has started, so we'll be seeing a lot more of you. And we'll be seeing more when the Champions League begins sometime in September. So thank you so much and have a good day.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. Enjoy your day.
All right. That was Alex Asmah, our colleague in Madrid, Spain, with Sporty TV, our TV station, our partner TV station in Spain. 8:35, Ekow Asmah is here and Jojo Epson. So, Ekow, you were making a comment. You weren't too happy.
No,
with
Asmah wasn't really fair to Simeone.
Why?
He's got a La Liga title.
Some people argue that's
No,
way
he's got
back.
it.
That's like what?
No, but he's got it, right?
Fair point. He does have one.
What about Arteta? I didn't think the comparison was fair. It wasn't really fair. Because
I think
Arteta hasn't won it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But he's been there for a while.
No, but he hasn't won it. Mm-hmm. But Simeone has won it. Okay. There's a distinction. Mm-hmm. So to put him on the same pedal as Arteta wasn't really fair.
Okay, but look.
No, there's no bad. I mean, he has won it. He's got the hardware. Arteta doesn't have it. Even though Arteta has had even more funding. Yeah. More support.
I think that's why he makes the point that Arteta is also on a clock.
Yeah, but Arteta hasn't won. He's
on a faster clock.
Yeah, so I thought Simeone deserves some commendation. He's been to at least he won the UEFA Super Cup even.
Well, he did that, yes. Won the La Liga, won the Super Cup,
Compare that to Arteta's credentials.
So you don't think we should fast track Simeone's exit?
No. Why? So far as Arteta is still around, I mean, Fifi Banson's favorite manager. I think he's done enough. He's competing versus Barcelona, Madrid. Mm-hmm. The funding is not the same. Mm-hmm. As long as the funding is not the same, he's not going to be able to unseat them, the two of them, the duo there, Real Madrid, Barca. Mm-hmm. He's not going to be able to unseat them unless they can get competitive in terms of their investment.
Okay.
As long as that continues to be the case, I don't see any other manager unseating either Barca or Madrid anytime soon, especially Barca. It's not going to happen anytime soon. And he's been loyal to the club. He hasn't left them. Mm-hmm. I mean, there were offers in the past when he was hot.
Yeah.
So show some loyalty and give him more funding to compete. Otherwise, just keep him as is.
Well, we'll see what the people at Atletico will say. This is still the Sporty Breakfast. Your comments are welcome. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. All right, now let's get into the ring and let's talk some boxing.
I'm coming from the blue corner.
Yes, the blue corner. I don't know which corner.
Oh, right.
Jojo's representing.
Blue is the color today. The host.
Yes, I'm in the blue.
Well, he's got some blue in his shirt, so that's it.
Yeah. Before we even transition quickly, for those who don't know, SportyBet is a proud sponsor of Real Madrid. SportyBet, a parent company. So just remember that. So SportyBet are very good friends of Real Madrid. Yeah. Ekow, let's start off with what is on the table. We haven't had this conversation in a while concerning what we call the normalization of the Ghana Boxing Authority, based on the recommendations from the committee. You were part of that committee. You helped put together the recommendations. So far, what do you know in terms of the normalization? Where are we now? And how close are we to doing the clean out, as I choose to describe it. So where are we now? What's the status of the normalization and all of that?
Well, at least it started because the Secretary General is in place from the NSA.
Okay.
As it should have been the case the past 4 years. So that's been normalized. So that's the normalization.
Yeah.
That part is.
And who's that? Patrick Johnson.
That's right.
Okay.
I know there were outstanding issues, but whatever reconciliations have to be done. But the fact that an NSA staff is in place as the Secretary General has normalized the situation per the statute. Okay, then going forward, there are certain remnants of the old administration and some waiting on the wings to take advantage of the situation that are, quote unquote, fighting the system. I think it's in futility because no matter what they do, this government has already proved that the reset agenda is in full swing. So everything is going to be reset. Now, in the case of boxing and the professional boxing, it wasn't even the reset agenda that put anything new into the system. It was caused by their own indifference to the very patently bad administration that just left office. Talking about your friend Nikwe. So
every time you say that, it cracks me up so much.
I know you like him. You may not like his style of leadership, but I know you like him. So
we can't prove that. I don't even know the man personally.
Oh, you don't have to know somebody to like anybody, So this was something that was already inevitable because the safeguards for boxing were for so long absent. No guardrails and you should always put the athlete front and center. The past administration was never putting the athlete front and center. The athlete is the most important. You talk about administrators, whoever, but the athlete is number one. So if you're not going to put the boxer front and center, and then by that I mean the medicals have to be first of all made sure that you have the right personnel in place to safeguard the boxer. That wasn't the case, and all the officials some of whom were on the sidelines were still on the board, I would say quietly collaborated with that because they didn't oppose it, at least publicly they didn't. So if you're on the board and the president is running a one-man show and you didn't speak up, publicly at least, you're part of the problem. Because if you didn't like it, you should have quit. So long as you stayed on, you liked it. So some of the remnants of the past administration who were on the board, who temporarily have been given the saddle, trying to put spokes in the wheel of the NSA. I don't understand it. And I think the NSA also asked for it by being too lax. You are given clear mandate and powers by the committee's recommendation to run boxing until you're able to put in an interim body. So it wasn't like they were waiting to put in an interim body. The NSA was mandated per the ministerial committee's report to run boxing until it was able to put in interim body. The NFA has failed to do that.
Okay.
Has not been able to put in an interim body within a reasonable time.
Okay.
And then the NSA also did something, I would say, disorderly, because it extended the mandate of the interim body from the past administration. When their time was due, the NSA had no power anywhere in any statute to have extended the mandate of the body that took over from Nikwe, because they take their mandate from their Congress. Yeah. The NSA doesn't give them the mandate. So if you don't give a body a mandate, by which powers are you extending their mandate? So that was problematic for me.
Have you, in maybe your own capacity, did you try to find out why the NSA did what it did? Have you had conversations, even if they were informal, to find out or to get an understanding as to why the NSA probably took that step?
Well, before it took that step, Yao is my brother, so we talked, the NSA boss. And I didn't like his speed, quote unquote, in implementing the reforms.
Okay.
And I was speaking to him at length about that, and we have different opinions. His style is different. He didn't think there was any need to, quote unquote, rush. But we told the minister when we handed over the report that, we need urgent reforms. And he agreed with it. And given the timeline, we're expecting that once from the date we presented the report, elections should be held within 6 months of handing the report in. So there was the urgency, and he didn't think there was the need to speed up. That's where we diverge. And if he had thought to speed it up, they would have put in a body before they would put in the interim body.
Okay.
Because that's our recommendation, that they put in a body, run the boxing, because fortunately you have Patrick Johnson, who's a staff of NSA anyway, and he had been with 2 previous presidents. So he knows the drill, he knows the ropes, he knows what to do. So, and then the GBA has an office at the stadium.
Yeah.
So it would be easier to even run it from the stadium. So that's the part about Yao's delay that I haven't liked, because it slowed it down and giving these remnants of the past administration all this quote unquote power to try to resist him. For their own good, they better leave the NSA boss alone to go ahead and implement the reforms, because really, if the state were going to be hard on them, they would shut down the office at the boxing arena, because they don't have a mandate. This extension is from the NSA. So since they extended their mandate and they accepted it, then the NSA can shut them down. So it would be in their interest to cooperate. There are plans afoot from abroad to help Ghana boxing. So they shouldn't put problems in the way of the state. Okay. I'll say Matchroom is trying to help bring Anthony Joshua here to fight sometime. Well, Joshua may not be able to fight in December, but they have plans to help boxing in the sub-region.
Okay.
Matchroom CEO just left Accra, inspected Accra Stadium and other venues, had talked with some local promoters. They're trying to bring more boxing into the sub-region after they did the Beast, Battle of the Beast. Yeah. They're having one Chaos in the Ring in Nigeria for their independence. Okay. So they're trying, and it's American and Anthony Joshua and Matchroom. They're trying to spread it out in Africa. Okay. So let's help the cause. Speed it up, because there may be opportunities, but opportunities have windows. So if you don't speed it up and put in the right structures, you miss those opportunities. So I'm glad that the eye of the world, at least from the British angle, is on Africa, with American helping, Anthony Joshua helping others. Let's help push the car, which is stalled. So by saying this too, I'm calling on the state to help speed up the infrastructure, the emergency infrastructure that, in their NDC's manifesto, they said they would do the emergency rehabilitation of some existing infrastructure. This is the time. Okay. If the state has to borrow a whole lot more money from reliable sources to put the infrastructure in place, let's do it, especially the Ghanaian Sports Complex. Yeah. Azuma Nelson fought his first 6 fights there. Yeah. He won the African title there.
And to see the current state.
And his name is on it. And he's the only Hall of Famer in Ghana. The only Hall of Famer. Yeah. And he's the only, in the whole of Africa, he's the number 1. In terms of longevity, impact, and everything. So for such a person, instead of honoring him with the kind of status as Muhammad Ali has in Kentucky, they have the Muhammad Ali center. Yeah. It draws a lot of tourists and a lot of money. So this is an opportunity for the state. Fix the Ghanaian Sports Complex. Raise it to the standard of, say, the Muhammad Ali thing, because I know it can be done. I don't believe in we can't do it, or there's no money. No. We have brains, we can think it out. We have a lot of brains. Look at the system now, this gold board thing is changed, the dollar is stabilized and all that. We have people who can think. So Ghana has never had a problem with thinking or putting something on paper. It's always been
the implementation.
That's right. So let's get the political will. I'm calling on President Ibrahim Mahama, for supporting legacy, rights, sports and all that, to put in more investment in that area. Get the infrastructure ready and the boxing will take off.
Joshua, let me take your thoughts. In all of this, this thing that's been happening around pro boxing or the GBA, we really haven't heard much. I don't know whether you have any comments you want to share on everything that's happened. The story post Olarewaju's death and the push to clean out the system and ensure that Ghana boxing is in a good place. I don't know if you have any thoughts or what your thoughts are on all of this that's happening, the normalization and how it's being done and all of this?
Well, Nathan, thank you. I've really, followed events to the committee's work, during the committee's work, and after the committee's work, and I've represented the amateur base at most of the activities that the NSC is doing to bring the normalization in place. Last 2 weeks or so, there was a program that was to, prepare the ground for the normalization.
Yeah.
So certain personnel were brought in to tell the stakeholders, they call themselves stakeholders, who the NSA is dealing with now, to let them know, like Senior Ekow said, they are not ready for the normalization. That's the so-called stakeholders in the boxing industry.
They try to give
and these are
problems.
The trainers association, promoter association, the manager association, matchmaking or agent association, ring official association, professional veterans association, and bosses association, boxing gyms or class association, and it's supposed to include regional boxing authority association. But anytime they are coming, they ignore the regionals, because boxing, if you know the history of Ghana boxing, it's not limited to Accra.
No.
Okay.
Boxing,
Especially in the northern region. It's only that Accra have the history of boxing. Of course.
And the good coaches, the good organizers, etc., are all, based in, Accra. So that's it. You go to my base in Takoradi Second D. Actually, it's one of the areas that boxing started with.
Okay.
And they produce, great men and all those things. The like of Ekonkani, Edible and all those things. Even Cape Coast, right? And then there's a place in Cape Coast now where Doas Club houses in the night. You see active boxing going. So boxing is not limited to Accra.
That's right.
Kumasi and all those things. So they have to. But anytime they are coming, they just carry people from the Bukum area, which in itself is a problem. So looking at the problems that or the findings that the committee made, and by my deed of my hard work and my relationship with the powers that be, I've managed to get a copy, which I'm keeping to myself. I'm not sharing it anyway. From what they find out and what I know, and the state of Ghana boxing now, I think there's a need for resetting and the normalization that must come in. This is a country that at a stage, that's specifically in the 80s, we used to boast of 4 credible world champions at a time.
Yep. The golden generation.
4 credible, not, Senior Ekow was mentioning we have 10 world champions. I said 9. Because the other one, we still can't look, we can still can't.
No, we have 10.
We still can't gratify.
Look, even Joshua when he was Joshua, right? Anthony Joshua when he was Joshua, and then Pac-Man when he was Pac-Man. They still had the IBO. I know what you're talking about.
So
they still had the IBO. It was part of the bargaining chips.
So the sticking point is what?
It's the IBO.
The
I know.
So so I'm talking
but
about.
they had the IBO. It was part of their negotiating tactics.
Yeah.
If you won their belt,
Then
you had to
fight
pay.
for that.
Anyway, I think
So,
that one,
and
the debate will continue.
No, but even if Pac-Man had IBO,
yes,
and Anthony Joshua, who at the time was
Anyway,
the
but-
WBC heavyweight, then you have to respect IBO.
Nathan, still, I maintain that there
And this is for your country.
No, I'm saying that I still maintain that there we had 10 credible world champions.
Okay.
And at a stage, we had about 7 weight categories where Ghanaians were champions. From Kisumaila, Nana Okonedu. I mean, I'm talking about African champions before we get to Azuma Nelson, featherweight. Then you come to Ernest Thompson Carson, which influenced him to help build a boxing arena. That is Philip Agokote.
Okay.
Lightweight. Then you had this gentleman who passed on recently.
Afrikote.
No, not Afrikote.
No, okay.
He was middleweight. He was a Muslim at Newtown.
Yeah, I just kept my mind.
And you have the light heavyweight, Mama, something like this. It was light heavyweight. I don't know, Mensa heavyweight. they were African champions.
Yeah.
Before you go to the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
And if you look at our situation now, you look at our situation as a country, we don't boast of any world champion. Our boxers are not even ranked on the African continent. As we speak now, the Commonwealth Boxing Council and the British Boxing Council have suspended Ghanaian boxers from fighting.
Why?
So they are not getting ranked because
Why?
of
Why?
because
What's
of
the reason?
certain
Your man.
because of certain things
Because of
which
certain things
I don't
that
have
we are
evidence to talk about.
Okay.
And letters came.
But at least it happened during the tenure of Abraham Kotenikwe.
Right.
It did.
Well, I'm saying
That's
I
when
don't
it
have-
happened.
Yes,
no,
but
I'm
the-
not
a
saying.
letter came.
We're not talking
To
about
suspend us.
evidence. It happened during his
It
tenure.
happened when
And
he was
it was
president.
published,
right.
and I chanced on, and I have a copy of that letter. And fortunately, one of the veteran promoters, Mr. Bofi Yoham, is a friend to the Commonwealth Boxing Council officials, and they are in communication. And if things are done well, that's suspending can leave. Because before becoming a world champion, you need to go through, that a stage or transition.
Yeah, that's the blueprint. African champion, Commonwealth champion, get into the
And
ratings.
it prepares you, and you are well ranked.
Yep.
That's how that Zuma, Nelson, Ikwate, and all those people came. But what you are seeing now, they come and plug the immature amateurs straight to professionals.
Yeah, it's part of the recommendations to fix it.
You see, then straight they move on. When they get what is commonly and now popularly known, the Achi Agbeshin staff. Part their records.
You mean
get some
Achi Agbeshin?
staff?
You know, the first time my colleague Raymond, and shout out to Raymond, Ekow, he sent me some questions to ask you. I'll ask you and Jojo.
Okay.
The first time he mentioned
Achi Agbeshin.
Achi Agbeshin, I was in stitches. I thought it was made up, only for me to
No.
find out that it was actually true.
You see, so
verified.
I'm sharing this thing because I have seen boxing right from the age of 7 and up to date. And I've read and I've seen boxing. When I say I've seen boxing, proper boxing. So if the state of Ghana boxing now, people are not concerned. And knowing the economic viability of boxing and what boxing have done to a community where I was born and I grew up, Mamprobi, with that radius where I share with Azuma Nelson, Bo Dankwa, and even I Clote passed through at a stage.
Yes.
Clote at a stage, they came to stay there. It's to change the economy of that area. In terms of earnings, people who have traveled,
Yep.
people Azuma has helped to go in school, people Azuma have bought trot for to change their lives.
Yep.
And the multiply effects. And we are trying to kill that game. Because like I'm saying, currently no Ghanaian boxer is properly ranked in any of the major recognized international regulatory bodies. And let alone thinking of immediate world champion. But we have the potentials. Look at the boxers we have. That the amateur rank we produce. There's Samuel Techis, Theophilus Makwalote,
Yeah.
Joseph Kome. So we don't lack the talents.
Yeah, but you see, Joe, it's not just the talent. With boxing, it's so technical. I think we have to try and educate some of our brothers in the media organizations. You could have all the potential. Let's take Azuma Nelson, for instance. He's the prime example. Given all that he had, he was a prodigy. Still, without the Akotoku Academy
Concept.
Sporty
and the vested interest of people like Major Retired Amaka Amatefio, John Alete Kofi, DF Annan and co. to help run the academy, it wouldn't have happened. Amaka Amatefio himself personally made sure Azuma Nelson got drafted to the Ghana Prison Service, which enabled Azuma Nelson to fight at the World Military Games, which got him the prominence. So it's not just about the promise. You need the clout of the promoters and managers to match the aspirations.
So it's a mix
if you don't
of-
have the clout,
It's a mix of talent,
the
and then
talent is just-
infrastructure hard and soft.
That's
hard
right.
being gyms and stadia and blah blah blah. Soft
Plus-
being, like you said,
plus the personnel.
intellect. You mean the intellect, personnel, all these.
the clout, because you see, you have to be going to those conventions.
Yeah, so senior, so like I was coming there. So yes, the state is very critical in this regard. And if you look at it, Kwame Nkrumah in 1964 make a deliberate attempt to get the world champion for Ghana. That was when Floyd Kutu Robertson challenged Sugar Ramos in Accra.
Yeah.
And I think they say I wasn't born then. But it is believed that under some controversial circumstance,
I can tell
you
you
lost.
You see, our people like boxing, but we don't know how to win in boxing. For instance, the Sugar Raymonds came here with Angelo Dundee, who had just trained Azuma trained Muhammad Ali, then Cassius Clay to beat Sonny Liston. Just what, 4 months prior to that. Angelo Dundee was the Sugar Raymonds' corner. That's staggering enough. And then, guess what? The WBA president, Ed Lastman at the time, can you imagine that the WBA president doubled as a judge? And you know, Sugar Ramos is born Cuban, but he fought as a Mexican at some point. Then you have the Mexican Boxing Commission president also here as a judge. How are you going to win?
Okay, so now
it's part of the reason.
Yeah, so now we need
people besides the boxers. We need personnel, judges, the
higher
side.
Secondly, I was coming there. So you look at it. Then the role of the states in that regard. So after that failed attempt by Sugar Ray, then we had a head of state, after Nkrumah, who seriously was sports intoxicated. That's the late General Kutu Achampo.
That's right.
So he also made it sure. And if all these things I'm saying are narrations from His Excellency Major Amaka Amatefu retired, because his brother G. Amatefu, who was also a sports administrator per SLS, was sure. So they decided to, separate the amateur base from the professional. That was where the Ghana amateur boxing authority was separated, and GBA, came into a being. So there was a deliberate attempt, and it was to prepare DK Poison, who, as a Ghanaian, had an excellent record, was based in Australia. So top-notch boxing men like the late Justice D.F. Annan, right? And Isaacson Amaka, who was then with the Ghanaian forces as the team manager, with late former President J.J. Rawlings as his assistant. So you look at the quality of personnel who were in charge of boxing at the time. And a lot was done. DK Poison went through the national championship, won the African title. I think Commonwealth also put him a good ranking in the WBC, getting Ghana's first major title for us. So you look, it was a deliberate attempt. Now, at the time, after post-Nkrumah, the amateur with Amaka Amatefu in the army, and then Rawlings and co, made sure that D.F. Annan, yes. Make sure that Ekene Sharp,
yes.
These are military people with discipline in place.
Yes.
Make sure that the national team was built around the Ghanaian forces, and they used this gym, the gym around the community center down there. It's the Army's gym. The name has escaped me a bit, but I think it will come. So they put the national boxing team around it. And look at it. At that time, after we have dominated and Ghana became the strongest amateur boxing nation in the Commonwealth, because we won 6 gold medals proud 1962-66, and have won Africa's recognized first Olympic medal, because those ones the South Africans won.
Clement.
Clement was off.
Yes.
And 64 then this guy was the name Ike. 64 By that time, countries like Nigeria, Kenya, Australia has never even won a medal in boxing at the Olympics. We are 1-2. We sat down today. Algeria have gone to 1-2 gold. Nigeria. So that's the state.
So clearly we haven't managed the space well. We haven't done well with boxing. So you talk about
now this is what have been done. Identify the talent first, prepare the talent. There used to be a national sports festival.
Yep.
It is national. It wasn't limited to Accra. So we had national boxing champions. All the regions. That's how Nana Okunedu was discovered.
Yep.
Even the Honorable Nilante also tried an attempt with this thing in the Brown Afro region to join the national team as a boxer. That's how we get Kofi Jantwa and all those people.
Yep.
So all those, then they come for the final national sports festival.
Yep.
And they get the best. They take them to Winneba Sports College, select them, like Senior Ekow mentioned, some of them, they rope them into the security services, prisons, fire the armed forces and all those things. So at least they get some stipend to survive on, and they are not forced to turn professionals, over time. And they build their endurance, stamina, footwork, defenses, and all. So solid amateur base before they turn professionals. And when they turn professionals too, you see the difference.
Yep.
Among themselves. Like he mentioned Azuma winning the title, his first title at the Ghanaian. I mean, I learned it was against Raymond Putti. The communities, the police had to get reinforcement to manage because they were too good. And any of them could have become a worse something. So that Achagbation staff wasn't even, because all the players were good and none of them was ready to trade for Achagbation.
Which is throwing fights.
Which is throwing fights to start pad people's records.
So that's how we build a base. Before when they get to professionals, like I said, the state rule.
That's right.
So you look at it, the involvement of top personnel like DFANA, Amaka Amatefio, who make sure they are linked with major bodies like WBC. They deal with the president.
Yeah. Well, John Aletekofi was there.
Yeah, he was the vice president.
Yep.
And then before then, the man who came in before Brafo came, the accountant.
Oh,
something.
Nikwe Mensah.
Yes. Nikwe Mensah. Yes. Yeah. The army gyms. I mean, the army gyms are the how do you call it? The Accra Community Center there. They call it Seconds Out.
Seconds Out.
Seconds Out. That's where that's army gym. And it was well resourced by the armed forces. So we built a national team around it. And subsequently, when we get that link with major international bodies, it helped our bosses. But this is a situation, the Commonwealth Boxing Council has suspended us. Our bosses are not being ranked at the professional level. Now, the extension of the acting or the interim body of the GBA, their mandate ends Friday.
22nd.
Their mandate already ended.
Yeah, but I mean the extension I'm talking about.
But the extension is even, that's why I have it.
Yeah, so
I'm
saying that, okay, let us give the NSA a bit. So with the attention they have for them, the NSA say they are preparing this thing. And this is the GBA constitution, as I was carrying along. Which you go through it, a lot of things that, I don't know the word to use. And it need to be reviewed and to reflect the modern times. Right.
So in a nutshell, Nikwe was not the only problem.
I see, because
he was not the only problem.
The feeling I get, or when I read the situation,
yes.
And Raymond and Raymond will be joining us a bit. I think Ray is on. So
beautiful.
Ray, if you are on, I'm sure you have a question or two. So just hold it for me. The feeling we get when we read the situation is there's this perception that, the problem of Ghana boxing was Mr. Nikwe. So now that Mr. Nikwe is gone, everything is fine and dandy. So allow us to continue running the show. Or now that this gentleman is out, we are okay. We can run it. We don't need normalization.
No, but you see, they helped Nikwe to fail. These people who are saying now that Nikwe is no longer around, they can run it. They helped Nikwe to fail by looking on, taking no action. Okay. So they are as culpable as Nikwe.
So you don't think that Ghana boxing can go forward with them as principal?
They were all there when these fighters were fighting without doctors at ringside, in breach of their own regulations. So they are as culpable.
Okay.
So this is why I'm blaming NSA for the delay, because they should have put in measures, put in personnel to run it while they were waiting to put the interim body in, per the recommendations we made.
Okay. So what happens after Friday? I don't know if Ray, are you on? Hello, Ray. Okay, we'll try and bring Ray on. We'll try and bring Raymond on. Is he joining us on the phone?
I'm on the.
Ray, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Nathan. Good morning to you and good morning to everyone in there. And let me apologize. I had to attend to urgent business, like I said. So.
No problem. That's why you have a solid team. We are your safety net.
Fantastic.
But you okay? So I'm sure you've been listening to Jojo and Ekow. I'm sure you have questions. One question that you sent to me was of huge interest concerning Mr. Patrick Johnson. Ekow is here. Jojo is also here. So maybe you can ask that question and then we can proceed with the conversation.
Very well. So I wanted to find out why someone who was part of the system in previous eras and somebody who was removed from office by Nikwe for various offenses, including corruption, and had to visit Yoko a couple of times and had to enter plea bargaining, is now the man expected to lead the new reforms of a new Ghana Boxing Authority. Clearly, it doesn't sound right in our ears.
Okay, so yeah,
I heard a quote say the normalization started with his appointment. Why do we have him starting off this whole normalization process?
Okay, Ekow, I don't know if
Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. He may not have heard me.
Okay.
I said whatever reconciliations have to be done, if you remember.
Yeah, you did say.
That's why I said that, because of outstanding issues.
Okay.
Yes, so whatever reconciliations have to be done.
Okay.
Then meantime, the statutes and the regulations of the GBA and the requirement of the state are being fulfilled by bringing Patrick Johnson, because this is a temporary measure. You need to bring somebody who knows the job instead of bringing somebody's private secretary or their boyfriend or girlfriend.
Okay.
So that's why I talked about Patrick Johnson. He was there. He's been there from Moses Foreman's time to Peter Zweni's time. So
he's somebody who
he knows the ropes to run it.
His role is what? Temporary.
That's right. Okay. So to fix it, because it's an interim body. That's why it was important to bring, and then the state had to fulfill its part of the bargain, because the NSA had also been complicit in not fulfilling its part of the bargain by not making sure they have a staff there as the Secretary General. Because some of the things that happened regarding the Olariwa June thing could have been averted if the Secretary General from the NSA were in place at the GBA.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how come I think it's fitting for the NSA to put their staff in, because it's a requirement per the GBA regulations to fulfill.
Okay.
Whatever outstanding issues, that's why I mentioned whatever reconciliations have to be made. I'm putting in the caveat. I didn't want to stress it. But maybe Ray didn't hear that part.
Okay.
No, but Nathan, you see, my challenge is this.
Mm-hmm.
We want to sanitize the system.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it had gone through processes that we've not been comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
Gone through processes that hasn't put Ghana boxing where it's supposed to be. Now, Patrick Johnson has been part of this same system we are criticizing today.
He wasn't part of the. How was he part of it?
So
Ray. So okay, you finish.
Yeah. So if we are bringing back Patrick Johnson to lead cleaning up the mess and to entirely strip that room of debt, clearly it doesn't fit into the purpose of this whole normalization, because right from the start, ab initio, it's flawed because of the tainted, in quotes, character you brought in to lead the normalization. Whether it's temporary, whether it's ad hoc, whether it's short term, clearly, if you put a questionable character in that position, it defeats the whole purpose of the normalization and everything that he has to do. Whether he has institutional memory, or he has the experience, or whether he works with the NSA. And the records are there. These are records that you can verify what happened between him and Nikwe and his situation with Iyoko and all. All of those matters are verifiable. So why should he be the person to lead the process?
Okay. Ray, I think I get so it's a reputational thing and it's a ethics, absolutely. Right? Okay, so yeah. Okay, I think I get Ekow. You get Ray's.
No. See, we have to be careful when Patrick's not here to respond to this. Mm-hmm. Okay, I know that's why I mentioned that whatever reconciliations have to be done.
I know you keep making that point. That whatever
I put that caveat in, so they can deal with that. Whatever needs to be done regarding whatever allegations or whatever is on him has to be done. So I put that out already. Mm-hmm. But you still have to fulfill the part of the NSA's responsibility in making sure that the Secretary General position is filled from their staff.
Okay.
So he's there, and then whatever the legal part of it has to be done regarding him has to take place.
So for you,
and it's only a temporary issue, and he's not getting off scot-free. If there's something against him legally established, let the law take its course. I have no problem with that. Mm-hmm. But I'm also keen on making sure that the NSA also fulfills their obligations.
Okay, Ekow, let me ask you this. In terms of options,
yes.
If you take out Mr. Johnson from the equation,
yes.
Are there others the NSA could have used to do the same job?
He's the most experienced.
Oh, he's the most experienced
who knows the ropes. And this is supposed to be an interim body. You need somebody who knows the ropes already, not somebody to come and learn on the job. No.
Okay.
So that's why I said, if there are any issues regarding his person, the law is there.
Yeah.
Let the law take its place.
But for you, on the count of experience and competence.
Yes.
Okay.
And he's saying that he's part of the dirt. He's not part of the dirt. Regarding Nikwe's administration, he was removed after 1 year.
Okay, Jojo.
After 1 year.
After 1 year. Okay,
you see, if I'm getting Ray and getting him very well.
Yeah.
You see why he have problem with Johnson, and I think I share the same concern with Ray in the sense that in the committee's recommendation and reports, right? There should be and there will be need for auditing.
That's right.
And all those things. Now, this is a GBA which even Johnson was part of, right? And went overboard.
How long was
Well,
he?
I'm coming.
No, but if you say
wait, I'm not saying
now
no.
4 years. So
No, let me land. Let me settle. Let me come.
Let's specify.
No, wait. So he was part of.
For how long?
No, wait. I'm not saying. No, wait.
No,
You see,
no,
your
Nikwe was in there.
No, not
Nikwe was in there for 4 years.
It wasn't Nikwe say. So you look at it. Then there was an issue. A reason why Nikwe pushed him out. And
What was the reason?
I'm saying that let me land first. I'm saying there was an issue.
No, it will be
Then
fair
I'm
for the
coming, I'm
listeners.
coming.
Okay,
I'm
guys,
coming.
hold on,
Now
hold
for your own.
No, Jojo, let the listeners hear. What was the issue?
Okay,
Okay,
Jojo.
now I'm coming. So let me come. So now
No,
I'm coming.
Relax.
What was
Jojo,
the
issue of
Jojo, first question. How long was Patrick Johnson with the
Thank you.
Nikwe administration?
I think it was a month or two.
Yeah.
Yes, but I'm coming. So,
how was he part of it?
but you don't know where I'm going.
Hold on.
But you don't know where I'm going.
Relax, Jojo. Let's take it easy. I just want matters to be laid clear.
That's right.
So
For
that
the listeners.
so that people have the full appreciation
That's
of
right,
the
yeah,
story.
that's right.
Question number one: how long was Mr. Johnson with? How long did he work with the Nikwe administration for? How long was he stay with that administration?
I think it's a month or so. Now,
Okay,
and
Ekow,
this was the reason.
Do you have any information to that effect?
Yeah.
How long did Mr. Johnson work?
Max 2 months.
2 months.
Max.
So now, look at it.
Okay,
Then,
so man
you know,
to man, no problem.
when the committee sat, which senior Ekow is part,
Yes.
from the Ghana Boxing Federation, our president was a witness.
Yes.
Because we petitioned the federation that the GBA, which Johnson was part, and recently when we met him at the NSA, he confirmed it. They went overboard. Look, this is
When he says overboard,
I'm coming. I'm putting on it. This is their own constitution. And Article 2. They are Article 2. That's one. They are supposed that the GBA is supposed to regulate, organize, develop, encourage, and promote professional boxing in Ghana.
yes.
And that's their mandate too.
Yes.
Then he was defending that they have to go and form a juvenile board. And use GBF name to go and solicit for sponsorship, which the committee have recommended for, under which they are supposed to. It's part of the work of the normalization. So if it's part of the team now, the transition team, normalization, like Ray is saying, that's what we are looking at. Because you know that the committee said that money from Ghana Gas and GMPC to the Ghana Boxing Federation, which ended in account of the GBA, need to be probed.
Yeah.
And
there's no
Johnson
problem with
was
that.
part of those problems.
No,
Okay.
how
Fair
long?
point.
You said he was.
Yes, so
how
that's
was he
all-
part of it?
So that's what I'm saying. When Ray is mentioning that, because the matter even went to the Yoku, to the extent that
I know that, and that's why I said let the law take its place.
So when we decouple everything,
Yes.
it is true that from all I've heard
Yeah.
and from the facts on the table, one Mr. Johnson did work with the Nikwe administration.
briefly, yes.
Briefly,
Yeah.
no matter how brief it was,
Yeah.
he was part. There
Yes.
were issues,
Yes.
and he was thrown out. These issues, as we've all established, got into the realms of the law. Yoko and things have been mentioned right now. And so, Ekow, you make a point that, okay, if there are legal issues,
Yeah, let
the law will deal with that.
Let the law deal with it.
But your argument is that because the gentleman possesses experience and institutional knowledge,
and this is an
fulfilling
interim.
is in an
place,
interim
and we
thing,
need
so he
somebody competent
And the
committed
body
to do
is
it.
supposed to fix the problem.
No,
And the wait.
no, let me tell you
So,
something.
is it, so
No,
the
I have-
person who even have issue is part of those who are coming to fix the problem.
No, he was in there for how long? It's important to.
No, but
make
he's
it-
still.
I know,
When,
but I'm saying-
when the audit is taking place,
Yes.
he'll be called.
No. You see, that I have more information than you do.
No, I don't doubt it.
That's why. So let me tell you.
We were also witnesses.
Okay.
On your committee.
Look, your president.
Yes.
He came before us.
Yes.
You know, we have more information than even the GBF have. We didn't put everything.
I won't doubt it. Yeah, I won't doubt it.
We didn't put anything.
I won't doubt it. Yes.
We didn't put everything in there. Even the report. It doesn't even have the index of the evidence that we have.
Okay.
So if you look at the report, you will even see the evidence. We have the evidence. The legal department of the ministry has a lot that if push comes to shove, and we're not just dealing with Ghana, we're dealing with Nigeria too.
Yeah.
So we are being very, very careful so Ghana doesn't get sued. Okay, so apart from that, regarding the normalization and all that,
yeah.
this interim body does not have the power ultimately, because as we speak, the white paper is being prepared. Okay, I know what's in the white paper. Okay. So when I'm speaking about these things, I know Patrick Johnson, being in the Secretary General's position, cannot influence it in any way, even if it involves him.
Well,
even
if say so.
Of course. Even if it implicates him or whatever, nobody can go scot-free. You know who are being considered? The Attorney General's department will be part of it. The Ghana Police, the CID and all that will be part of it to do the investigations.
Okay.
So this is beyond Patrick Johnson. He can't influence it in any way. So if he's culpable, he'll be found out and then the law will deal with him.
Okay.
So if he's not culpable, then he stays. So, but we cannot be prejudicial, especially we in the media, cannot be prejudicial and try him before his case is done. So let the law take its course. In the meantime, the NSA would have fulfilled its part by putting a Secretary General there, which it hadn't done in the past.
Okay.
But you know, with the
Jojo, finish and then let me go
know that with the LI 2477 and the Act 9344, the GBA itself has the mandate to get someone, not necessarily from NSA.
It's got to come from NSA.
Yes.
No. It has to come from the NSA.
Act, by this sports regulation and the act,
the GBA is under the auspices of the NSA.
Yes, it is, and they give them the license, and by which you recommended that it should be revoked. Which how do you call it? Article 10 here. How do you call it?
And Jojo, since you know,
yes,
the NSA must make sure it fills the Secretary General position, not just of the GBA, all the federations.
Have to come from the
NSA.
No, the new act does not. GFA Secretary General. No, wait, the GFA now.
Guys, hold on.
You see,
if by the new act, the new sports regulation in place, which I'm displaying, the content is here. It's not me who's saying it.
The recommendations we made were based on the law. It's the reason.
Which law?
It's quoted in there. It's the reason we asked the NSA to take over, and we asked the NSA to fill the position of the Secretary General.
Which the law allows.
That's right.
So the law allows. So the law allows that.
Yes. So what's the problem?
Which part of the regulation?
Well, let me. So if the law, Nathan, if the law allows it, what's the problem now?
No, but the law does not state necessarily that.
Okay, but if the law allows it,
athletics
as you
now have their own.
Jojo, if you say the law allows it, what's your problem now?
I'm saying that the laws allows you can appoint, but you can equally have appoint your own.
And the NSA is in the saddle now because the GB has met.
Yes, good.
And they brought in their man.
That's why you're saying no. Real concern is that
he may have concerns.
Yes,
we've addressed them.
Yes, I think Ekow has answered largely. I think he's giving a good explanation as to all these dynamics. I think there are some of the dynamics you can't say because, of course, you are in a privileged position. Yeah. So there are other factors involved. Let me go back to the line. Just hold on. Let me go back. Ray, if you are still there.
Yeah, Nathan, I'm here.
Great. Any other question? Are you okay with Ekow's response?
Well, Ekow has taken a defensive hat this morning, so I don't want to.
I'm thinking of Ghana.
Really, the issues are the issues. We can't run away from.
Okay, fair.
My other question is, Nathan, after the work of Ekow's committee, we realized that we've been waiting for them to implement some of the things that were in that report, especially as boxing bouts continue to be held at the Bukum Boxing Arena. One of the key issues there has been the fact that we've not had a medical doctor. from what has been happening in recent times and the supporting about this weekend, some of us have found out that the GBA, the current body, is still using the nurse from the police hospital. He's still the man being used as the ringside physician. I don't know. I don't know if Ekow or
Ray, you're talking about the gentleman who the nurse who was mentioned in the committee's work. He's still working for the GBA
as the ringside physician with this new body. I don't know. I don't know if they've been able to discover any of this.
Yeah, Ekow,
I think this is a question for Yampo Frankra.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a question for Yampo Frankra because we have made our recommendations. He's supposed to make sure he implements them. This is an untenable situation. He shouldn't be the person in charge of the ringside.
Yeah, of course.
When he's not even qualified to be there. He's not a doctor. Period. So if it's been allowed to happen again, then you should blame the NSA. Period.
So now you understand why Ray is not comfortable.
No. This is a different matter. No, but you see, one is competent, one is not. You have to be. These are apples and oranges. What's his name? Patrick Johnson is competent in his position.
Yes.
The nurse is not.
No, but
they're not the same thing.
So that's why they say that
Ray, so
he's representing.
So I'm sure. I guess we need to ask the NSA a few questions, right?
Yeah.
Because how is it that they are supervising all of this technically, but then these things are still happening?
That's right.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay, so I'm noting it down.
And all of these things are happening within the space. Okay.
Yes.
And that is why some of us believe that, look, the implementation of this report has taken too long, and it seems the NSA
Ekow agrees completely.
It's been too lenient with the entire report.
Ekow agrees with you on that. He was laying it into the NSA boss a few minutes ago.
Yeah. So Nathan, some of us have issues. I wish I was in studio too.
Yes. It would really help.
But let me say something to Ray.
Yes, sir.
Some of the questions you want to direct at me are misdirected because some of the questions should go to the NSA. Not me. We have asked the NSA to do XYZ, which they have failed to do to this day. But I'm not responsible for that.
But your recommendation insist on the Secretary General coming from the NSC. The law.
We asked. No, wait. Let me answer your question. The recommendation asked the NSA. There are two things that we are always forgetting. First of all, the recommendation asked the NSA to run professional boxing
in line with this statute.
Of course.
Yes.
It asked the NSA to run it while it's putting in an interim body.
Okay.
That has not taken place.
Okay.
So if the NSA is running it, Patrick Johnson is a staff of the NSA.
Okay.
So that will fulfill that part.
Yes.
That the NSA should run it.
Of course.
And they don't
with
have
the caveat that all other issues.
That's right. That's what whatever.
And Ray is concerned.
Let me address it. He's listening. He's listening. So let me address it. So the NSA is running it prior to putting in the interim body, which is per the recommendation. And it's put in its staff, Patrick Johnson, who is more competent than any personnel to run that position.
Okay.
Now, regardless of whatever legal issues may be lingering, the law will take care of that. Okay. So while it's running that, it's fulfilling that part of the recommendation.
Okay.
You know, the ministry accepted the recommendations fully. Some will be implemented with modifications here and there. Okay. So, if anything, this is a skeleton representation of the NSA running the body with Patrick Johnson.
Because technically, the GBA doesn't exist.
It doesn't.
And so the NSA is running it in the interim.
That's right.
Now, after this, there's normalization.
That's right. So, but the remnants of the Cote Nikwe administration, together with Patrick Johnson, are doing it temporarily, which is contrary to the recommendation. That's why I fault the NSA. They're supposed to run it independently of the remnants, who are giving the NSA problems now. So, and it's the doing of the NSA. They've asked for it. So, if the NSA, that's why I'm saying this is a skeleton representation by putting Patrick Johnson there, because it's supposed to be run solely by NSA staff.
Okay. Ray.
before it puts in the interim
I
body.
want to ask Jojo my final question.
Okay, this one is for Jojo.
Yeah, this one goes to the GBF.
Okay.
Nathan, we have the Commonwealth Games close back. Okay.
Yes. Commonwealth Games what next year? Commonwealth Games usually World Cup year, so next year, yes.
Yeah. So it's very close.
Yeah.
Now you realize that as we speak, there's nothing there's nothing on the side of the GBF that shows that they are getting ready. They have a team that's getting ready or preparing for the Commonwealth Games. And mind you, the last time we went to the Olympics, Ghana did not have a single boxer participate in the Paris Olympics. So how come the GBF is quiet on all of this? How come the GBF is not making sure the next generation of boxers who would possibly fly the flag of Ghana at the next Commonwealth Games? We've not seen anything. We've not heard anything. We don't know who the boxers are going to be. Are we going to rely on the same old boxers who go and struggle to qualify for Olympic Games or no? Are they the same boxers we are going to rely on? Or we are going to see a total cleanup of the system to see new boxers actually emerge and possibly fly the flag of Ghana? And I hear Jojo waxing lyrical about how GBF has produced medals all over all these years and all. Clearly, the medal line is dry. What is the GBF doing?
All right, Jojo. So that's for you. I don't know. Okay, will you answer that? Do you want to answer that now or
let me handle it quickly.
Okay,
I think it's of a great concern because you look at the chain of production of quality buses had to start with the national team, the Black Bombers,
yes.
And as it is now, we have female buses too. Mm-hmm. So we have 3 national teams that we manage now. That's the youth, the Rockets. Mm-hmm. Those up to the 18 years. Mm-hmm. Then the Black Bombers, that's the elite, national team. Mm-hmm. Then the female, the Black Hitters. Mm-hmm. So as it is now, look at it. After every Olympic cycle, the national team is dissolved. And as it is now, mm-hmm. that the post Samuel Techi era, mm-hmm. we had the national individual championship. Mm-hmm. That got us that team that went to the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, mm-hmm. and won the 2 silver and then the bronze. Mm-hmm. And subsequently, we couldn't get any qualification slot to the Paris Olympic Games. Mm-hmm. But with quality preparation, we managed to get 4 gold, a silver and 2 bronze from the African Games. And the Olympics over, that team has been dissolved.
Okay.
Unfortunately for us, most of our good bosses or medal winners have 10 professionals. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so the team in a way need to be recomposed and reinforced. And how do we do that reinforcement? Mm-hmm. We need to organize national championship. Yeah. And this national championship, as I said, the current GBA, which I'm highly involved, we are not trying GBF. I'm not trying to Ghana Boxing Federation in charge of amateur, juvenile, and youth. Yeah. We are not trying to make it Accra based. So when we review our activities, mm-hmm. we look at what really costs mm-hmm. Ghana for not qualifying to the Olympics last time.
Context for our listeners: the next Commonwealth Games is
next year. I'm building a point. So allow me, just give me just a minute.
I just want to give people the dates. 23rd July to the 2nd.
We are already
of August,
behind the 8 ball.
2026.
1 year to go.
Yeah,
300 they are already behind.
So I think I like it, and I expect Ghanaians to come in and see how best we all get a team to the next Commonwealth. Now, as it is now, mm-hmm. Our regional coaches, we've asked them to put in place a team. We're supposed to have to start with the zonal national championship before we finally have one to have a reconstituted national team within all the weight categories and form a new national team. Because as I speak now, it's only 2 or so of the old guys who are still there, and they also still need to justify why they should be part of the team. It's not automatic. How do we call it? A slot. And in that regard, this is all about funding. We've met with the sports minister, we'll discuss it, and something will start very soon. Meanwhile, the federation have also identified that we go to major international because Ghana as a country will lack ITOs, international technical officials. Some of the decisions mostly go against us. But this year, the focus have been to certify and train most of those people. We've done that. Our coaches who until recently it was only Kotofori Asai who was certified. As I speak now, about 25 of them have IBA Star 1 coaching certificate. And those are some of the things we've done so far. And it's part of it. There's a team now, selected team, who are training now and might be going to Liverpool for now. There's a world boxing who are in charge of amateur and recognized by the IOC. Yeah. Though that's not the main national team. So to answer Ray's question, to organize the national championship and get a new national team to prepare for next year Commonwealth Games, which will be the base to prepare for qualifiers to the Olympic Games, as it is now, is in the pipeline. And it's all being delayed because of funding. Because the GBF, as you know, does not generate income. It's a national team. Yeah. But if the state does not, so this is where the concerned, Nathan, and all those who are concerned, the advocacy should continue. We expect support from the corporate world. They should come on board.
You see, I don't buy this then. It's a national team.
Yes.
It's the state.
I'm saying that.
No, wait. We're talking about amateurs. We're not talking about the professionals.
Yes.
The amateurs, the responsibility lies on the state.
It's just about
to provide.
The state.
Don't ask the corporate world to come in now.
See,
because the state must lead. And then the corporate world
I'm saying that, yes. So we've made arrangements.
So our programs,
I
want to say something about filling all the weight divisions. I think it's a wrong thing to want to fill all the weight divisions. Wait. Yes. If you check our record, Ghana doesn't win beyond a certain weight category. We win from the smaller weights all the way to lightweight. Now, so can I come in now? So why don't you focus on where we can win more, or even go and win gold? Because the last time we didn't win gold, we want to go back there. So don't fill all the weight categories.
Yes,
there's categories Ghana cannot win.
Yeah, but
so don't waste anybody's.
But that is the area for the technical men to decide on.
No, per the record.
You say per the record.
No, per the record.
But there was a time we had.
We're not talking about the past.
Now I'm saying that. You see, look at it.
You see, Nathan. So some of the problems.
Okay, you finish and then
Joe. Some of the problems that the GBF are posing now, are giving Ghana now, is not giving Ghana the opportunity to focus on the red zone or the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
Where can Ghana definitely win gold or silver? And we know the weight categories. Don't tell me about the technical people who decide. I know. Per the records, even if you check the last time, check in what categories did we win.
Okay, so
there's smaller weights all the way to the lightweight. If you feel, you feel welterweight, middleweight, and all that, you're wasting
the lower weight. So
yes, you're wasting resources.
Bantamweight,
all the way to lightweight, and we stop there.
So this is it now.
So this is where we can win.
This is why, as a country, we might be disadvantaged. That's why we need to adapt.
Yeah, we don't have time.
No, I'm saying adaptation coming like this. The next Olympics qualifiers, the weight categories has come already.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it's being organized it's being held in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. The world boxing, have brought out the weight category, and the heavier weights are more involved. We're going to have from flyweight, bantamweight, no featherweight now, lightweight, then straight to light middle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we should focus from lower to light. So
now there are, so as our the selection rope from the Ghana Boxing Federation, it's not limiting. Fortunately, we have Ghanaians in the diaspora who are also willing, and based on what they can do.
So you want to follow this GFA thing?
No, it's not about it. If we have a Ghanaian,
Jojo, you should build it from here.
Yes.
Build it from here. And we know which category.
Yes, I'm saying that.
Focus on that.
If you have a Ghanaian who is good,
you don't have the resources
and eligible.
Don't do this GFA thing.
No, it's not about GFA thing, because we are in a different era now. We just saw this Chantel Louis Roca, who came in because he added something to the national team. As a country, like you mentioned, we lack talent in the bigger weights. And if you have a Ghanaian,
you can win.
No, I'm saying if you have a Ghanaian who meet that criteria,
and you don't have the resources, why don't you focus on the resources here?
if it's possible, because we brought in this lady, what's the name? Dr. Onela.
What did she win for Ghana?
No, she didn't. I mean, at a stage, I mean, for the record, she's the first female Ghanaian to win a medal, bronze, in Tokyo, in the qualifiers in Dakar.
You see, I want to focus on what we have back here. We don't have resources. But the
point is that if we have a Ghanaian with a certain weight, and you have the ability.
See, that's misplaced priority, because the priority should be about enabling the homegrown talent who have been denied for so long.
Okay, Jojo. So long story short, the selection process, has it started?
It hasn't started anyway, but the coaches are on standby. The competition will come on, which will select them very soon. Yes,
and then we have a team.
Have a team. I mean, the delay. We appreciate the concern for delay, because boxing still remain the nation's leading.
But the GBF is not helping by wasting more time, as pointed out by.
No, but I'm saying it's all about funding.
No, wait. Besides the funding, the decision making is defective. You want to participate, you want to fill in all the other categories.
No, we are looking at that.
No, you shouldn't be looking at that. Because you don't win anyway. So Ghana doesn't win beyond a certain way. Why waste everybody's time?
I'm coming.
Yeah.
Then it's about potentials too, because the slot that will be given to us, that's what we will determine. So, assuming that the competition required for 12 weight categories, and we are given 5. We look at areas that we are strong.
Okay, but Jojo,
yes, the areas that are strong are the lower.
Yes. So we need boxers with
true. Yes. So the point is that obviously from history and from what you have said and from what we all know, we typically do well in a certain concentration area of weight.
Yes.
From whatever to about middle?
Lightweight. Don't even bring middle.
No, lightweight. Let's say lightweight.
Max.
Right. So why don't we? Because it's very likely that all the boxers will fall within that range.
Yes.
So why don't we concentrate energies on that first? If we find any other boxer outside Ghana who's of Ghanaian parentage or Ghanaian descent and is a heavyweight and want to bring him on board, that's okay. But I think that should be almost like plan B. Let us focus on
so that's what I'm saying. Yes. Okay. The plan A is in place, the B is in place.
Stick with the plan A.
Yeah, so
you don't even have time, and you don't even have resources.
This is not like football where maybe within one category you feel more. You have to fill one weight per boxer.
It doesn't matter if you can fill only one person. So you can go and win.
Fortunately for us, we have good bantamweight who is a gold medal potential. Hoping that nothing happens. All things being equal, he'll be ready and go to the Commonwealth Games. Now, the flyweights who we bank our hope on and highly ranked, that's Tio, as 10 professional, he's not available. Then someone like Joseph Comey, who we thought could use his experience to at least get a go, because last time he got silver.
Professional.
Yeah, 10 professional. So he's not available.
Yeah.
But the rules allows it that if he hasn't for a certain number, he can still come back.
So that's on the side.
Then but the heavyweight we are talking about is because as the Americans and then the British, who because of their nature, they tune the thing to favor them.
And it doesn't matter.
Ekow. No, sorry.
It doesn't matter.
Jojo, it doesn't. The point is that in everything, sports, politics, whatever, there will always be
comparative advantage.
Those countries will always dominate. That's to the side. We have to ensure that when we get to Glasgow next year,
we win gold.
We have enough boxers to fight in the lower categories or the lower weights. And those boxers, because naturally that's where they are strong and that's where they fit, they should be able to make a good push for a medal.
And this is where I have to clarify again, Nathan. And the organizers too have really...
It doesn't matter. Look, even if we have only one...
I'm saying that the organizers too has limited the lower weights.
So even if we have one, if we take only one, let's go and get the goal. That's it.
Ray, final
Why
question.
You want to waste all the resources?
Ray, final question, and then we can wrap it up.
Yeah. So my final question will go to Jojo again. Who are the coaches who are supposed to manage these boxers? Because clearly, there's evidence to show that our boxers are struggling to get to the level where they can really compete and get into those medal zones. It seems we've danced around the same group of boxers who have delivered mediocre performances consistently year after year. Are they still the coaches we are going to rely on for the next generation of boxers? And this issue Ekow raises about our specialists, where our boxers are good at, the weight class. I think that, you see, listen, we have to start looking beyond those weight categories. And again, a lot will boil down to coaching. Who coaches some of these boys? Who helps them to make a win? And I dare say that, look, let's not still stick to the issue of, this is where we are good at, so let's focus there. Let's keep our strength there. The Americans, at the last Olympics, an American won in the middle and long distance, the 1,500, Cole Hawker.
Yeah.
He won gold in the 1,500 meters. And clearly, and
Ekow's point, I think, is based on time. We have only 337 days to go.
That's right.
Yeah. But Nathan, with a very good coach, I'm sure
with a very good coach.
And I feel that.
I think it's also the other question Ray was asking about coaching.
Yeah. So Nathan, I think that let's begin to look at how we can make it possible. If Cole Hawker can go and live in Kenya, run with all of these guys and then come out and win the long distance, clearly it means that it can be done regardless.
At time,
Ray.
Ray.
Yeah, let's try to do it.
Ray.
And see how far we can go.
Yes, Ray. Sir. You see, because we are behind time, and the next Commonwealth Games is only about 11 months to go. So let's focus on our greatest potential for just next year. You're saying we should look at the other divisions. Really? With what kind of coaching? We still have Oforiasa, he's the only 3-star rated coach in the country still. So even if we can get only one boxer and he can go and get us gold, so be it. And then we'll plan for the Olympics and all that. But for the Olympic Games, because of the brevity of time, let's focus on the greatest potential for Ghana and go get us the gold.
Right.
That's it. It's because of the time.
All right, Ray, thank you so much for joining in. You had to take a detour to speak with us. So all the best with all that you are doing. We'll catch up later.
Fantastic.
All right, Ray, thank you. All right, have a good one. All right, guys, let's
now to respond to Ray concerning the coaching. I mean, I think there are concerns over there, and I will look at. As I said, it's not only at the national team that the coaching starts. The gyms. That's why we have really, built the capacity of those coaches by getting them those courses. And then, fortunately for us, some diplomatic missions have come on board, so they have their spaces available for us, especially to start with the French embassy, who have supported us with some equipment and all those things. Yes, I'll come there.
Okay.
So we have the talent. Now there's something I call high performance training center.
Yep.
So next year when we get a team, after the residential, the non-residential campaign, there's going to be a long residential campaign, and that's why
non-residential. We shouldn't even get to talk about non-residential. That's why we're talking about the state.
I'm saying that if we don't have
don't even entertain non-residential. It's not going to help Ghana.
So as it is now, then the French are helping, and they brought an expert, from their ISEP center, who came to, have some sessions with our coaches, and it's available to us. He was with the French national boxing team, and the Mexican's ambassador is also having an arrangement that will give Ghanaian boxers, anytime they want to travel outside, some kind of arrangement. They can go to Mexico and then share their training activities over there. So there are things in place. I cannot
it's not well structured.
Ultimately, we need to find something more permanent.
That's right. It's got to come from the top. And even the French helping. France is not a noted boxing nation.
No, but we are talking about.
Yeah, but if we want to catch up,
because look at it. Why Algeria and Morocco, and to some extent Tunisia, are dominant in amateur boxing now in Africa?
Because they invested.
No, they invested, but because of that arrangement with the French, the High Experience Center in Bordeaux.
No, it's because the state has invested.
No, if the state has invested, I'm saying that now.
So our answer is the state must invest.
But if the state is not
but you see, we shouldn't have that conversation that if the state is not doing, the state's got to do it. But that's why we have to push it.
Yeah, we are pushing.
Yeah, so don't give any way out.
That's why we are relying on our.
Our friends.
No, our friends.
No, it's not enough. You see, you have to be radical in your thinking if you want to change something. If you're going to we want to rely on other. No, the national team is the responsibility of the state.
Yeah, that's
so
what I said.
don't stay there and push
So
it.
that's why I said that.
Okay, guys,
In the
let's
past,
wrap it up.
no, you see, quickly, in the past,
we do.
That's why in the past,
Why?
when we were getting results, there were certain things that were done, and I said that the state making a deliberate policy to build the national team around the armed forces, and you saw the kind of personnel that are around it, the kind of coaches that we have.
Yeah, but
Agbana and all
two
those
things
people.
quickly.
Okay.
Amateur
Before we
level,
wrap it up.
the state has to invest heavily. No excuses.
Of course, that one, yes.
And then when it comes to the pro, now you can't rely on the state helping the pro. The pro,
You are on your own.
you're
right?
on your own. So I get all these messages with so-called professionals asking the state to help professionals. No, we should never tolerate it. And you should not even encourage anybody talking like that. If you hear anybody talking like that, you should shut it down. Because the pros are professionals. It's not the responsibility of the
Even
state.
their constitutions clearly spelled it out.
I know, but
That they are
still,
pros,
these so-called professionals are still asking the state for help. No.
Okay, guys.
And you have too many poor promoters in the game. It's a problem. Look, if you check
So
Ghana,
that's why we need personnel to do the normalization, because your recommendations here
Well,
over
I want to
here.
go back there, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm
Let's-
talking about the
we are wrapping it up.
professional realm. You see, check with Azuma Nelson.
Okay.
Even though the state was heavily involved, Rancraft, with their expertise, were always going to the forum where Poison won his title. These people have expertise and they have clout, they have exposure, they have traveled extensively in order, they have the connections in the sanctioning bodies around the world. We need that kind of expertise and clout.
Okay.
Currently, what we have with the professional side, we are poor promoters. They don't have the clout.
And
They are not going to all the
money.
They are not going to the conferences where the big shots are, who take decisions to rate your boxers. So instead of, for instance, even with Ali way back, and even with Tyson, you have to have with professional. You have to have a body pull their resources together. Maybe 3 people or 5 people or 10 instead of these small time promoters we have now. They cannot take the Joseph Comey. Look, Joseph Comey can win a world title. Currently, who is going to take Joseph Comey to the world title? It will never happen because they don't have the clout. The promoters now cannot take him there. But you have to have about 3 or 4 of them coming together, pull their resources together before they can have that kind of push. And then the state will also
Now, you remember the days of Freeman Kwame, Sika Priest.
All right, guys. Let's end. We'll have to have this another conversation a little later. I don't know if we can make it tomorrow. Why not? I mean, I'll have to talk to my production team if we can make it tomorrow.
Because we have the momentum, you know.
Yeah, I know. But we have other things. Ekow, let me thank you.
Yeah, football's been, taking
I mean,
the whole time.
if you want, we can run it back tomorrow. If you are available,
Yeah,
we can run it back tomorrow. So my production team, please,
If they
let's talk about bringing boxing back tomorrow. So he's nodding. So we'll bring boxing back
Thank
tomorrow.
you.
Ekow, let me thank you. Let me thank you.
very much.
Ekow Asmah,
Thank you very much.
sports journalist and a boxing writer. Jojo Epstein, also a journalist. These days, he's the comms director of the Ghana Boxing Federation. Sorry?
Officer.
Communications officer. Sorry, I'm giving you. You don't like a bigger title.
So yeah, I do more things. Then I think when we are coming tomorrow, I will share and I'll tell the viewers a picture of this is the Black Bombers in 1962.
No problem.
On a tour.
No problem.
So you see the state, the role of the state.
No problem. We'll talk a bit more about that. But guys, thank you. Ekow Asmah, Jojo Epstein, thank you so
very
much.
Thank you.
It's been fun jousting it out with.
Boxing, what do you
It's
expect?
popcorn, that's it. What do we really expect?
Yes,
yeah. 9:52. All right, let's switch attention. Let's talk about the Galka Top 4. The Galka Top 4 is starting today at the Legon Stadium. 4 teams that finished in the first 4 places of the Ghana Premier League. Gold Stars, Hearts of Lions, Asante Kotoko, and Hearts of Oak. They are meeting in a pre-season competition. This is, well, not as glamorous as it used to be, but it's still existing. And here at Sporty FM, here on Sporty FM, we are giving you live radio commentary of the Galka Top 4. So today, it's between, so that it's happening today, Friday and Sunday. So Kotoko and Gold Stars will be playing at 3 p.m. and Hearts of Oak and Bando Heart of Lions, they'll run it back. Last weekend they met in the Homo World Cup. They are playing again today at 6 p.m. in match day 1 of the Galka Top 4. Michael Asaribwedu, our colleague from Sporty FM in Kumasi 91.3, is joining us on the line. Michael, good morning. How are you doing? Okay, guys, I cannot seem to hear Michael. I cannot seem to hear him. 9:53. Listeners, if you have any comments, you can send us those comments. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. Michael, you can hear me. Speaker, let me see if I can hear you. Oh, okay. Michael, looks like you are.
Can you hear me now?
I can. You are live now. How are you doing and how is Kumasi?
Well, I'm good. Kumasi is buzzing, but the weather is just cool and we are cooked.
Wonderful. So, Asante Kotoko, I guess this will be the final bits of preps they will do ahead of the new season. How have they been reacting to, or how are they getting ready from what you've picked up? How are they getting ready for the Galka top 4? Of course, it means that this will form part of their preps for the new season, which now includes a potential run in the CAF Confederation Cup.
So what this means is that the top 4, they have 3 games to play against Gold Stars, which is today, then later against Heart of Lions on Friday, and then the final one on Sunday against Accra House of Rock. And then afterwards, they will move to BB to face BB Gold Stars in the Super Cup, which is the Champions of Champions, where the winner of the FA Cup will play as the visiting side against the winner of the Premier League, who will be the host. So they have 4 games to play before the new season starts. And don't forget, they are preparing for Africa. And this will add up to what they've already had as regards their trip to South Africa to play Kaizer Chiefs. The team has been camping in Cape Coast for the past week and more, and they've been readying themselves for the upcoming campaign. They needed to move away from Kumasi so to escape the media scrutiny and then also avoid a lot of following. They just wanted to do things more privately or in secret so that they will be able to do what they were supposed to do. So they didn't need the distractions of them being in Kumasi, where the media and then their fans would troop to the Anakojachi training grounds to watch them each day and perhaps put pressure on them. And so in Cape Coast, they've been training very well. Not much of bad news received from camp as regards injuries, but some 1 or 2 players who will not be part of the squad that they will use for the top 4 competition. And they've played a series of friendly encounters where they did very well. They beat Ebusian Dwarfs, they beat Vipers, and then before then they had engaged in some low-profile friendly games where they also secured victory. So I think Kotoko are entering into the top 4 competition in the best of shape per what Karim Zito wanted to do with the team, and also in the best of form per the results that they were able to chalk in the pre-season friendlies they played prior to this one.
On the news earlier, I heard him say that this was an opportunity to assess players. Do you get the sense that he will make a final determination of who make up his squad ahead of the season based on the top 4, or the players we will see in the top 4 are those who are likely to be on the boat when the season starts in September?
Well, I think one thing that he didn't really enjoy as regards their South African trip was that they played just a game and did not allow him to use many of the players that had been brought into the Asante Kotoko team to improve the squad. And I think the top 4 will offer that, and the friendly games they've played will also offer that. In the midfield, they've made a couple of additions. You can look at Lord Hilary Adabo, Hubert Jehu, Seth Kwajo. If you are to bring on board the likes of Joseph Amoa, who previously played for Lagos Cities, albeit he played as a left back, he is also a midfielder. So you are looking at how the midfield combinations will be like and how it is going to work for Zito. Again, it depends on the structure of the middle. If he's going to go with a midfield team, which players will likely be his preferred selection or choice. And then if he's going to go for a midfield double pivot too, which players is he going to select? If you play just a game against Kaizer Chiefs, it does not really offer you that luxury of time and then enough opportunities to try out such systems. But if it is a 3-game pre-season competition like the top 4 presents, then he can try out in different games, even in-game changes that he's set to make. And so the midfield issues will have to come to bear. It looks like now he's settled more for Seth Kwajo and then also Hilary Adabo. And there have been questions about how much of a role would someone like Uber Joe play. He had an excellent season at Brecum Chelsea last term. He's been brought into the team. How much of a role will he play? And then those who are already part of the squad, the likes of Emmanuel Entry, Baba Yaya, how will they be blended alongside the selection that will come from the new players that Sito has selected? Again, in attack, they had Kwame Poku, Albert Tama as the main guys they had to look forward to. And then they've added this Guinean, Morifing. And Morifing has been on some good scoring form during their games played in Cape Coast. And so clearly, he's offered them another opportunity. And I think for the very first time, those who watch the top 4 competition on their screens will get to see how Asante Kotoko's new look attack will be like. Kwame Poku, Albert Tamwa, and then Morifing. How will he complement the efforts or the strength of the attackers already in the team? The likes of Saka Dauda, how will they contribute? Peter Abiduaka will not likely be a part of the top 4 because of injury and all that. So clearly, look at all these things. He has crucial decisions to make. I think that one department that we can actually say for certainty that Zito has been able to settle on who are his preferred choice, barring injury or suspension, will be their defense. As we know now, we know that Mohamed Kamara will be the starting goalkeeper. Lord Amwa will be the starting right back by injuries or suspension. The left back will also be Patrick Essien. The central defense, it looks like he's settled on Henry Ansu and then Sambo Onuli Nongane, who's also the captain for the side. But for the other department, like the midfield and the attack, he will need to work things out. And I think they will want to use this competition to try out what actually works for him so that they prepare very well for the upcoming season where they'll be competing for the Premier League, an FA Cup title defense, and also try to compete very well in the CAF Confederation Cup.
Finally, Michael, there's a new story. I'm sure you've seen it. Kotoko's comms director, Mr. Samuel Safuduku, talking about the fact that the team will have to play in Accra during the Confed Cup run, nobody knows how long it will be. He talks about the cost involved, and they are unhappy that the Baba Yara Stadium is not complete, and there's a bit of a little storm around that. Can you just decouple the issues and explain to us what the challenges are and what the story actually is with Kotoko, and they are moving to Accra to play the Confed Cup games, and why the people at Kotoko seem to be unhappy with this move?
Well, I think Safuduku's interview stems from the fact that they are so positive. They are pessimistic about their chances of playing at the Babaya, looking at developments that have unraveled in the aftermath of the season. There has been some unnecessary back and forth. Initially, the NSA, through their director, said they hadn't received any form of notice from Kotoko that they will be using the Babaya for Africa. Kotoko disputed that. They even provided evidence to the fact that there had been some correspondence with the NSA hierarchy. So if a director is not aware, then it's marks of bad communication at their end. That issue was put to bed eventually. There were visits, including the sports minister, the Ashanti regional minister, and then a subsequent visit, including the Ampofuankra, who's in charge of the NSA. Now, this has led to some stakeholder engagements where the two parties agreed to work together. So in recent past, like in the past or in a couple of weeks, we've seen that there have been works that have been accelerated at the Babaya, particularly on the pitch, where we've seen massive improvement in the nature of the pitch as it stands now. It looks like if they follow the schedule and if they are committing resources and much time and attention to it, then they'll be able to put the Babaya pitch in good conditions to play in the prelims, where Kotoko will be facing Farah, and then if they do qualify, they will likely have an encounter with WAC of Morocco. That aside, the other issues about the dugout, the other issues that are actually a reason the Babaya is not in a very good condition are being discussed. Yesterday, there was another stakeholder engagement, and this time around, it involved club officials from Gold Stars, and then club officials from Asante Kotoko, and then the NSA director, Ampofuankra, was present together with some of the leadership structure of the NSA, as well as the Ashanti Regional Sports Directorate. Now, they had these discussions. It looks like the major stumbling block now is the finances, the funds, to embark on whatever works that they want to do. And they reviewed what has been done already, which from the Kodoko camp and then also from Gold Stars, what they saw, they are pleased with the state the pitch is in, and it gives them much confidence. As at the time that they will be ready to play in Africa, the pitch should also be ready. It should be allowed. And even if an inspection is going to be done anytime from now, they are very confident that the pitch will be passed as ready to host the prelims of the CAF Champions League and also the CAF Confederation Cup. The other issues have to do with the dugout, as I mentioned earlier, and some one or two things that needs to be done. Now, let's make it clear that Kodoko and Gold Stars and even the NSA do not need to do a lot of work to make sure that Baba Yara will be approved for the prelims.
Okay.
The major issues that need settling is when in the event that they do qualify from the prelims to the group stage, then they would have to fix a lot of stuff like the scoreboard and then a lot of other stuff that revolves around the facility. But as it stands now, the major area of concern had to do with the pitch, which has been sorted as it stands now, the dugout, and then some couple of things. And per the discussions that were had, if money is available, then they'll be able to embark on it. There were two suggestions. One was even made in jest. There were suggestions that will Kodoko be in a position to offer some financial support. But let me emphasize that this was something that was just passed around.
Okay.
It was just laughed at. Like, you get it. And those were the discussions that were had. But the more serious ones had to do with the fact that they were looking at processing documents, seeking approval, and then release of funds subsequently. And that was a correspondence between the NSA and then the Ministry of Sports and Recreation. And as and when the funds will be ready, they will embark on the works. But they had such discussions. They want to see the way forward and then look at what is happening here. Now, has CAF come to inspect the facility? No. The facility has not been inspected yet to even allow for CAF to take a decision regarding whether they will approve or they will reject the venue. That has not happened. What I know, and I can say for a fact, is that the GFA will do their inspection at the facility on somewhere Friday 2nd of this month or Saturday 23rd of this month. So inspection at the Babaya regarding the GFA club licensing will be on Friday or Saturday. Then eventually, if the inspection exercise do not really meet what is required, Kodoko can help NSA accelerate works on the facility, and then on their invitation, call on CAF to come and then do another inspection and see if they will allow them to play. They will play in September, so they feel that they have, let's say, good enough room of time to do the works that they are supposed to do. But as it stands now, the Kodoko camp are not so positive because they feel the funds are not available and they are concerned about it, and their concerns are legit. But let's emphasize that the stadium has not been inspected, and as such, CAF has not taken any decision regarding the Baba Yara Sports Stadium for the two clubs who will be competing in Africa.
Okay, I think that brings a lot of clarity to this particular issue. So I guess it's a matter of let's watch this space, right? And let's see what CAF says when it comes for that inspection. When is that inspection? Is it this weekend?
The GFA's inspection for the upcoming season will be this weekend.
Okay.
And when the GFA comes to do it, eventually they will also have to update CAF on the facility and look at, because CAF will write to the GFA to ask about the facilities that are in good shape for the upcoming season.
Yes. And
that includes Africa as well. So the GFA's inspection and everything, when they submit the report, then CAF will look at it. If there is a need for them to hold on to approving the Baba Yara so that other works can continue, they will do that. And then on Kodoko's own invitation, it will likely be Kodoko and Gold Stars because they are the two teams who want to use the facility. They will have to invite a new CAF inspection team on board so that they will come and have a final look at the facility before they take a decision regarding it. So there's time for them to do something. What matters most is that there needs to be funds raised, that they need to raise funds in the immediate so that they can continue their works. And suggestions were about, could there be a potential fundraiser sort of, so that people can come in with their own form of support to ensure they can raise money for some of these works.
Okay, I mean, as I said, it brings clarity. Let's see what happens. Michael, thank you so much. We'll speak again soon, and have a good day.
Thank you very much, Nathan.
All right, that was Michael Asaibredi, our colleague, Sporty 91, colleague at Sporty 91.3 in Kumasi. As I said, there will be live commentary on this network today, Friday, and Sunday in terms of the Gala top 4. So, Kotoko versus Gold Stars at 3 p.m., Hearts of Oak versus Hearts of Lions at 6. And then you have Friday, Gold Stars versus Hearts of Oak at 3 p.m. And then Hearts of Lions versus Kotoko at 6. And then on Sunday, you have Gold Stars versus Hearts of Lions at 3 p.m. And then the big one, Asante Kotoko versus Hearts of Oak at 6 p.m. All the games will be live at the University of Ghana Stadium, Legon. And we'll have live commentary here on Sporty 106.1 FM. All right, 9 minutes after 9, we are wrapping it up. But let me share this very interesting announcement with you. Now, if you love Ghanaian boxing or Ghanaian history, I tell people that Ghana's history is very intertwined and it's like it lives through different things. So Ghana's history is not only through the politics. Yes, you can get the yes, true. But when things like Ghanaian sports, when you study Ghanaian sports very well and you study its history, you start to trace the thread of Ghana's history living through sport. So, at the archaeology department of the University of Ghana, there's a very interesting exhibition happening there today between midday and 3. And it's happening between today and the 12th of September at the archaeology department. Right now, it's an exhibition titled Atweresani. Right, so basically, it's talking about boxing, right? Boxing matters, if you like, to do a very loose translation. Boxing matters. It's an exhibition of an exhibition on aspects of Ghana's boxing heritage. Right now, that exhibition has been put together by Sarah Lotus Asari. She's the daughter of Coach Ofori Asari, so she grew up close to boxing. So that must have fostered that interest. So it's a museum of archaeology at the University of Ghana, Atweresani, an exhibition on aspects of Ghana's boxing history. So I'm urging everybody, right? Go to the archaeology department today between midday and 3. That's day 1. But between now and the 12th of September, that exhibition happens between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. If you have downtime, go there and create time. You don't even need to have downtime. Create the time. Ekow, thank you. Create the time. It's something that my wife is always teaching me. She says, if you say you have to make time, nothing will happen. Create the time.
That's right.
If you don't create the time, nothing happens. So create the time. Look at your schedule and say between 12 and 3 today, I'm going to the University of Ghana Museum of Archaeology to go and see aspects of Ghana's boxing history. It is a fascinating exhibition. And I say this especially for the younger ones who may not want to go and watch a bout at the arena. And you've heard people talk about Ghana's boxing history. You go to the Museum of Archaeology and go and see. Because there's no point growing up in a country and not understanding even the basics of certain aspects.
That's right.
In other places, they preserve the history and you enjoy reading and watching and talking about it.
Yep.
Right? So Sarah Lotus Asari has put together this collection. Just go. Right? Just go and just go and see that exhibition and you'll be blown away by the brilliant history of Ghana's boxing. You'll be blown away by the history of Ghana's boxing. The men and women, the administrators, the promoters, the fighters, and the characters who have made Ghana boxing what it is. Right? These days, it may not be glorious, but the point is we once had a very glorious history.
That's right.
In terms of Ghanaian boxing. So go and watch the exhibition. Take your kids along. If you're a parent, take your kids along.
That's right.
Let them go and see that this country has different layers to it. So they will learn to see that this country is not, we didn't drop from the sky. But we've actually come from somewhere.
Yep.
We have a history, we have a legacy, we have a culture. So people understand what boxing means to this country's history. Yep. Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was very heavy on sport, and he wanted to make a world champion or create one from here. So we need to understand, so that you understand, you get the context. And I said that by the time you are done with the exhibition, you would have learned a thing or two about Ghana's history. Yeah. Ghana's conventional history. You might think it's just sporting history, but it is Ghana's history nonetheless. So please make the time. Go to the Museum of Archaeology at Tresani. Go and watch that. Go and enjoy that exhibition by Sarah Lotus Asari. It's an exhibition on aspects of Ghana's boxing heritage. So that's the public service announcement for the morning. 10:14, we are wrapping it up. So as I said, so please make time. Listen, if you are listening to me and you are a class teacher, you own a school, you are a school admin, talk to them, make the time, take your kids, let them go and watch that exhibition. At the Museum of Archaeology or the Archaeology Department. Take your kids, parents, take your children. Do that. Even the people who like boxing and don't know about Ghana's history, go. Journalists, let's all go and watch and learn so that we are better off. We see, when we do that, we tend to appreciate this country more than we do. For us to learn a thing or two about it. And there are all kinds of interesting things there. The Black Bombers, their history, and all of those things, their history, how it came together, how Ghana even got an amateur national team, why it was formed, how it was formed, who were the members. So you have historical context. Before I leave though, let me do this quick birthday message and then we sign out. Today's been a bit of an extended version. Happy birthday to Mr. Solomon Enia, CEO of Solani Global Limited in Bibiani. It's from Samuel Kweji. Samuel Kweji is PRO of Bibiani Gold Stars and is wishing Mr. Solomon Enia a happy birthday. Wishing him long life and prosperity with good health. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me thank Ekow Asmah and Jojo Efsin once again. Ekow Asmah, journalist, boxing writer. Jojo Efsin is a communications officer with the Ghana Boxing Federation. That's I choose called the Amateur Boxing Federation. Many thanks to all our listeners. If you're sending a message, if you tuned in, thank you. Many thanks to my production team, Immortal, Angela, Nanekia, and Abigail. Shout outs to Flyboy and Emmanuel Ayamga on social. Shout outs to my DJ Fidelis. Remember, the Galka Top 4 commentary is live on Sporty FM from 3. I will be here from about 2:30 to do the build-up and to take you through all the chit-chat around the games. Kelvin Owusu and Abigail Senasosu and Victor Kwao will be giving you commentary today, Friday and Sunday. So today and Friday, there will be no Sporty Drive. Sporty Drive will not air because of the Galka Top 4. All inconvenience is regretted, to borrow the phrase from the ECG. All right, this is Sporty FM. That's how I wrap it up today on the Sporty Drive, on the Sporty Breakfast. Sorry, there's the news at midday. Sporty Plug at 12:30. Sporty Drive will not air today. I was going to say at 4, but it will not air today. At 2 from 2 p.m. we'll be here to give you live build-up to the Galka Top 4 game between Asante Kotoko and Gold Stars at 3. And then I'll be back here to guide you into Heart of Oak versus Heart of Lions, which kicks off at 6 p.m. Enjoy your day. Keep it house locked on Sporty FM. We are the voice of sport. We'll catch you later.
You're locked on to Sporty 106.1 FM in Accra, 91.3 FM in Kumasi, and 102.5